What's up, guys? It is Tuesday, May 4th, 2021. This is Brandon. Hope everybody's doing good out there. I see quite a few people in chat. I guess it's about time I change that intro, huh? I'll have to work on that. Let's see what we got out there. Dan Morris. What's up, Dan? Ute Hoop. Chrissy Heavey. Flat for Life. Jaja Light. Page 42. Conspiracy Cats. Bill G. Let's see. Who else? The Snark. Earthlarp Dumpster Fire, Sean Hawkins, Matrix Media, and Enigma. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Bill or Flat for Life says this sounds good. So does Bill G. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. And looks like we got a few people in Discord. Let's see what's going on. What's up, guys?
What up?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Feeling better, actually. I was pretty sick yesterday.
Yeah, it's a good cover story.
Ha!
Today because I had buffalo for lunch.
Buffalo for
Buffalo
lunch.
wings or actual buffalo?
No, yeah, buffalo flavoring.
Oh, like hot wings or something?
Yeah, not on wings though.
Oh, okay. Huh.
When you start getting old, that spicy stuff doesn't land
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
We got Jeremy, Crit, Geo, Jimbo, Matrix, and the real Bob Dolan here tonight. So what's the news, man?
Yeah. Come fuck with us.
Huh. What's new in Flat Earth land?
Same old shit.
Same old shit, yeah. Anybody
Killing
catch
them in
that
gems as usual?
that debate between Brian's Logic and Ranty on Friday night?
No, I listened to a part of it and then I fell asleep and never went back and rewatched it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. I was hoping to get the shortened version, the clip notes from Brian one of these days. But I couldn't put myself through it. I think I turned it on, started it, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this. But whatever. Anyway. So what's going on? You guys are quiet tonight. Hello?
Sorry, what'd you say?
So you guys are quiet tonight. What's going on? You working, Jeremy?
Yeah, I had to go on mute because I just had to flush a whole bunch of toilets.
You had to take care of some shit.
Yeah, I don't want the background and noise to come through.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
But I mean, yeah, same shit as usual, man. I was killing them in gems earlier all day, same shit.
Yeah.
They got nothing.
I haven't been in there much recently. I gotta stop in there and see what's going on. Anything new?
They're making the same baseless assertions they always got. I'll tell you what's not new is I got 5 fucking people. Literally nobody in this arena lives in the tropics. Because I got 5 people on my list, and only one of them is because they're going to be on vacation in the tropics during this time.
The other 4 don't live in the tropics?
No. The four do, but one's just going to be on vacation.
Oh,
the
okay.
5th one.
Okay.
Yeah.
No flat earthers still?
Yeah, not one. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we don't have very many people that live down there. There's not very much land.
Or I think one of them might be a flat earther. I'm not sure. I got to check my pinned messages in our DMs, but because I mean Australia falls in this zone.
Oh, it does.
You got to have somebody in North Australia. No.
Yeah. You would need a couple people in Australia, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Let me take a look at this world map. We'll see what area is in there.
Maybe worrying about the shape of the earth is actually a luxury that people in that area of the world don't usually have. They're too busy, dealing with life.
I mean, yeah, most of these places are third world countries, Central America, Africa, Australia.
Yeah, I mean that really goes to show you that a lot of these first world countries, I mean it's kind of like they're all basically like people worked up. It's not so much that the flat Earth is a problem. We could be in here all day long and no one get butthurt, no one get all worked up. You throw a couple globalists in here who think they want to dominate everybody, and it just turns into a shit show.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed shit show. That's for sure.
And that's
it
kind of
got
like people.
fucking crazy. Yo, it got crazy in here last night. Ali B brought me over here to talk about crypto. I invited him to that Discord room, but all of a sudden, just tons of people started joining. It got fucking crazy in here, bro. So many people got muted. It was nuts.
Friday night?
Last night.
Last night. Whoa. What
Yeah,
the
it was
fuck?
nuts.
Yeah, there was some shit happening in the Discord over the weekend. I wasn't paying attention. I had turned off notifications.
Oh, that was a whole nother fucking thing I had to deal with. Did you see all the people I banned?
Dude,
must have been
I went
fucking
in
at
there and
least-
banned too.
Yeah, man, it must have banned like 10, 15 people at least.
But I didn't.
Yeah, they were all after Ed.
No,
So-
it was like a server attack or some kind of troll attack.
Yeah, but they were all coming after Ed. I don't know if you realize
yeah.
that they were all shit talking Ed. So he did something on some other server, then mentioned this server, and they came after him.
Oh,
That's funny.
I didn't hear that part
Like-
of the story.
Yeah, if you go back to the text chat, they're all at one point they're all shit talking him.
What the fuck?
Well,
man?
when I banned him, I was deleting the messages too. So
So he's over there probably bobbing someone's gaming server. They got pissed, and he somehow pretended like this was his server, and then they came after him, and then he got a big kick out of it.
Oh, okay. I see. Thanks a lot, Ed. They were posting all kinds of nasty shit.
oh yeah, that's crazy.
They should be all banned now. I don't know what they were doing. They were like using like the same name on multiple accounts or something, or I have no idea.
Yeah, because I would ban one, and then somebody with like the same kind of name would join, and I would just instantly ban them.
Right.
Because I'm like, it's not a coincidence that somebody interested in flat Earth just happened to join just now as we're getting attacked with the same type of name as the other person. You know what I mean?
I gave a couple more people banning ability too, so hopefully that'll stop it from getting out of control like that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was insane. So I got the world map up. Let me see what's in here. Maybe this will ring some bells for some people out there. I would hope so if they recognize where they live. And then they can get in contact with you and you can get this shit done. So between the tropics, these dotted lines right here. Central America, Colombia, Venezuela, a whole bunch of small countries next to Venezuela, Suriname, French Guyana, Northern Brazil. Let's see, where else? Africa. A whole bunch of African countries, Egypt, Libya, Algeria, down to like where Africa starts getting, all the way down to, almost all of Africa, right?
It's a nice, huge chunk of Africa. Yeah,
Huge.
huge chunk.
I don't know that we have that many African listeners. Actually, I can see the statistics. I don't think we have.
I mean, I was
many at all.
hoping like Bob from Globebusters would pick up on these concentric circles thing because I feel like it would, it could falsify the globe. We should be all over this. Like, let's get on it, guys, because don't they got a lot of people in South America or something?
Yeah, there's quite a few people in South America. Oh yeah, all of Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador. I was looking at the equator before, not the
Hawaii. Hawaii's up in it.
Yeah, Hawaii, but it's so small. I mean, the sun must pass over
know.
Hawaii in like 30
You
seconds.
could do island to island or something, maybe. I don't know. Either way, the more data, the better.
I don't think they're not on the same latitude line though.
Oh, all the islands are.
No, they're like diagonal. kinda.
Diagonal. Yeah.
Madagascar. This show's huge in Madagascar, so we should be able to
Bro,
get some
they're
people
hunting
there.
lions and shit. They're trying to fucking eat crickets and shit in Madagascar or something.
There's a lot of cricket eating places out there.
Madagascar was huge for debunking the Apollo program. Because
Really?
the 1972 photo shows cloud cover over most of northern Madagascar. But weather reports of that day show sunny skies, clear skies.
Oh, that's a new one.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard that before. You got
Yeah, me
a
neither.
link or a source of any kind for that we could take a look at?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Oh, that's fucking awesome. How'd I never hear? I've been into the moon landing since fucking the 90s.
yeah.
Yeah, originally they had it. They said that the reports were wrong because it was a third world country. They didn't keep accurate records at the time, so it's really the space photo shows what the weather was like at that day. And then when the Madagascar government, I guess the people at that time, refused to change their reports of the 1972, they said nope, they were accurate. It was done by professionals, and it's a third world country, but some stuff was still up and running at that time. Then they tried to say that, well, the problem is that there's clouds from space you really can't see from the ground.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they said, like
Space
because the clouds are, well, they're different shapes and they're different sizes.
Those
So
are
from
probably the clouds Phil's satellite was falling into, a space cloud.
Oh, that makes
yeah,
sense.
like
now.
a space cloud,
Yeah.
like really high up clouds that we wouldn't see from the ground because they're so high up that they're visible from ground level, but from
Right.
space, but not from ground level.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
that make sense to anyone else?
Everyone knows about space clouds. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and what's funny too is that then if you use that logic for the Himawari thing, for the Himawari, they have to pretend that clouds are symmetrical, that you can see from the ground. You would see it exactly the same from the sky, but clouds are asymmetrical. They don't match, right? They're amorphous object that moves and changes shape.
Huh.
Any angle you view a cloud from, it would look like a different silhouette.
Different cloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
It'd appear to be, you'd be like, oh, that's not the same cloud I'm viewing because I'm seeing it from a different angle. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll tell you that from the ground, if you look up, you'll see exactly the same cloud from space. That because they used to say that they match clouds, right? That's how they know the Himawari's there.
Yeah, I'm on the ground looking at a turtle cloud. Somebody's in a plane looking at the same cloud that looks like a something else, and then another angle. Yeah, it'd be different every angle you looked at it from. Unless you had those like little thin clouds, they might be the same, but still.
Yeah, here I'll dig up that stuff on Madagascar. Like the big thing too is that it was on like what was the weather like on my birthday was one of the websites that was used for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That'd be cool to see. Some of the other countries: India, southern India, Thailand, Vietnam, a little bit of China, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, northern Australia. Now I know we have some people in northern Australia.
Yeah, we got them, man. I don't have none. Why don't I have any of them? Just Globers, I think. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're not interested in it.
Heads are scared of this shit because, I mean, if it comes out to be the globe numbers, what could you really say?
Well, on the other hand, if it comes out to be flat Earth numbers, what could they say?
Huge paradigm shift. Oh yeah, it'd blow the whole fucking lid open off the globe. You couldn't even be a glober at that point. That's why I kept saying Rampy should have waited because he'd have to switch back.
I clipped it, Jeremy. One time they were talking about if it came back with flat Earth numbers, they would just deny it because Jeremy isn't a very honest guy. They couldn't trust you anyway.
That's what they said.
Yeah, I clipped. Yeah, I actually. Yeah,
Fucked up.
Yeah, it was that TT guy and some other.
That guy. That guy's an idiot.
TT.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He sounds like he's always eating a Tic Tac or some shit.
Oh. I don't think I know him.
Yeah, that's really weird. The whole thing with his mic, what is up? Like he's got some piece of sour candy in his mouth or something.
What the fuck?
But yeah, or like what they call butterscotches. I don't know if you guys remember those when.
Oh, were there's originals?
Yeah, kind of, but the old school, like where you kind of.
You know what was good? Werther came out with a strawberry cream one. I don't know, maybe a decade ago or more, but they were fucking delicious.
Yeah, those were pretty good. I agree.
Yeah, they had orange and strawberry, I think.
Yeah, it was that day where they had just one flat earther coming in after another. It was like flat earther against Germany.
When was that? When was this? When was this? I was going up against Babs just now over in Jim's about an hour ago.
What was Babs up on about?
Just gas and weight and other shit. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. We didn't. It wasn't too. It didn't get too hot and heavy. I thought he was gonna start debating the Globers, but it ended up me debating. So.
Yeah, that tends to happen with Babs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, Brandon. I don't know if you saw people in here yesterday, but a couple people were in here, and I guess since there wasn't a show, but people jumped in, and yeah, we had a super heated. Like everybody was just more sort of activated than normal. Like Kosho at one point was like pounding his desk. Like I was like talking like way louder, like because like people were interrupting each other, and I was like talking like louder than I usually do. But yeah, it was a heated combo.
Oh shit!
They got real in the field last night. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Too bad I didn't have that recorded.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, we were going into tons of topics, pretty like very flat earth, like laser tests, and we were doing a lot of just going into the
I mean, all we
detail.
need to do is just one more laser test, guys, and we'll have this all sewn up.
One more. I saw that.
One more.
Who was it? Put out a video on laser test. It's like really slick and edited. I think it came out on the Globebusters channel. I think it was what's that group name? That science group that they have that did all the tests.
I think I think Globebusters released a new one, like the FE Core.
Yeah.
FE Core.
Yeah. FE Core. Yeah. So I watched about half of that, but I don't know. I didn't really pay too much attention to it.
I mean, I wish we could get Bob or Jaron up on this subsolar point thing. That'd probably help a lot. I don't know how to organize. They're all organized and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not organized. I got the whole shit in our DMs pinned.
Yeah, they would definitely be able to get people involved. That's for sure. They have a much bigger audience.
For real. And I know they got people in South America too, because don't they have that one dude who's got a huge they got like some kind of guy that does design I don't know, some computer shit. And he's a South American dude. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Eero Landucci.
Eero, yep.
The more I study into this, Jeremy, the more I see that like the sun is not as predictable. I mean, it's predictable, but as far as the zenith, it's not 100% on the zenith. Like I've even heard about the sun like being further than the lower than the Tropic of Capricorn, according to the globe.
Lower than the Tropic of Capricorn? No fucking way, really?
I mean, that's what I've found some anomalies, man. I'm still studying it.
I mean, we just need to get the speed at this ground speed at this point, and should clear a lot of shit up for us, I think.
Yeah, Jeremy, wouldn't it be incredible if after all these years of pushing the globe model, it's like nobody ever did that? Just that simple measurement right there that just completely.
This shit should have been done, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
disappointed in everyone involved in this whole arena that I haven't even won.
That's funny, but man, I was looking at the moon comes over my head directly, just about directly. But I'm seeing when you're looking up trying to measure it, man, it's like, dude, it's so vague. I mean, it'd be. I don't even know how I would tell if it was perfectly overhead. I mean,
Well, this moon, yeah, that's tough, but the sun would be easier.
You'd have to, I guess, hang a plumb bob and with a pipe, basically right next to the plumb bob. I mean, to make sure it was perfect, hang a plumb bob and hang a pipe directly in line with the plumb bob, and then look at the bright spot under. I wouldn't even rely on a shadow 100%. I'd use a bright spot on a flat.
There's a bunch of different ways. There's a bunch of different ways to do it.
Hey, WS mentioned Phuket Word. I think isn't he in? I don't know if he's still in Thailand or something like that. Jeremy.
Where's Eric Dubé? Isn't he in Thailand? Let's get him in on this.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Let's go, guys.
He's over.
Yeah, and if this would prove a globe, Jeremy, if this proved a globe, wouldn't you think they would already have done this? I mean, all the shit they've done to try and prove it, but they won't do this, and they won't do a circumnavigation north-south. The things that would easily squash this, they won't do.
Well, that's what I've been asking for ever since this was brought up to me by Curved on Gems. Is do you have an actual observation? And that's what I ask every time, and no one's provided me one yet. They always point to timeanddate.com. That's all they do.
Yeah, time and date, and they'll use the distances mapped out on the ball, and that is our one stipulation: is it's got to be a measured distance. That's the whole point in all this. So anybody
a known distance.
Anybody listening who thinks you can just go to time and date and then go to Google Maps. No. We want to get this precise, and at least if we do it as precise as possible, we'll know that the margin of error will be well outside of our range of knowledge for proof. And I think we're gonna.
Well, I think
what
what
we get would be good.
Anything you do in the north and you do in the south is going to be the same margin of error. So I mean, it should be. You shouldn't get too crazy in numbers. I don't know. I mean. Bev brought up a good point to me that the sun's going in a circle and we're trying to measure a straight line. I think that was
That's what I was thinking, dude. If it's doing a circle, then it's going to be a further distance. That'd be like plotting it out on an AE map. It's just gonna, if you plot it on an AE map, it's just going to tell you the distance that the AE map states. And if you plotted it on Google like a globe, then it's going to plot the distance to the globe. I mean, that's the whole big deal. That's the whole deal about what model you're using, because it's gonna match the model, obviously, if that's how you model it, right?
Hey, Brandon,
Hey,
you got some breaking news or something? The title has me intrigued of the show.
I couldn't
What's
think
the
of a
show
title,
title?
so I just I put the future of flat Earth, and I thought, I would ask, what do you
He
guys? Where do
clickbait
you guys
fucking
think we're
trolled
going?
your ass.
Yep, I clickbait.
He clicked, they trolled my ass. Yes, it worked. I thought he had some intriguing news.
No, the breaking news is SE has break it to us, SE. What's going on?
SE has a big announcement to make.
SE is still SE. What you got something to say, brother?
Yeah, this is it. Ready? SE, still SE. Breaking news.
Well, I think it's a good topic. It's come
That's
up a
right.
couple times in Gems, and then a couple times on the after show on this server where we've talked about that. And in terms of the future, like some of these guys that are really strong on the globe side, of course they feel like, oh, flat Earth is just going to sort of die out, or it's just going to remain this like a couple people on the internet talking about it. And then there's a complete opposite perspective that in our lifetimes, within the next years, this truth will come out. I'm not saying that NASA is going to get on the front on the TV and tell everybody, but that this will become fully known what the Earth is, and that it isn't a spinning globe. So it's interesting to think about that. I mean, I think we are truly on the cutting edge of it, meaning a lot of the astrophysicists that claim that they're on the cutting edge of their globe model, they're just believing the globe Earth and then receiving data from the space agencies. So really, they're not on the cutting edge at all, in my opinion. They're actually just completely following a fabricated, simulation of outer space or whatever. So then, who in the world is really on the cutting edge of figuring out what the Earth is?
Yeah, that's the point I've made. I like that point, man, because we're the ones who discuss it and go out and do observations every single day. And I would even credit the ballers for because you won't get your Neil deGrasse Tysons, your people like that, Brian Cox. You won't get them in a debate. They'd get mauled. They don't know nothing about the shape of the fucking
fuck
Earth.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
My point is like Rumpus, Ruhiff, and all them. They have to double speak a lot to maintain their model, and but still they're versed on the debate itself. So.
Well, they don't really don't have a
there's
model.
There's no earthologists. We're the cream of the crop, man. And,
Yeah, these people.
Flat earthologists. Where's
Yeah,
Lemon?
If anybody wants to hear some debate, dude, I demolished Jose's whole entire panel yesterday.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah,
In
those
my-
guys don't
in my
actually
mind.
represent the globe. What they do is they try to, debunk or shit talk flat Earth as they're over the globe. So they're like, yeah, if you were to present them, an actual scientist sat down next to them, they would make that person look like a complete nincompoop. They wouldn't have any.
So I got
clue
the
what they're
model,
talking
Brandon.
about.
Oh, sorry, Rob. Sorry. Brandon,
go
I
ahead.
got the model now, man. I've figured out the math, man, and it pretty much adheres to the observation. So I call this for our flat Earth model. It's standard. It's standard horizontal refraction. Okay, and it's for a flat Earth model, and it's the light refracts upward. I think we could even prove it too, showing lasers. John D's proven it. So light curves up at a rate of about 5 inches per mile squared, about 5 inches per mile squared. So it accumulates in the distance, and that works out with a setting sun after about, I think after about 7,000 miles, that refraction would make the sun set. It would make, if the sun was about 3,000 miles high. So standard horizontal refraction for flat Earth is about 5 inches per mile squared. Upward
That
refraction.
reminds me. I once, Brian, you got an echo going. I once saw a laser test where they had the laser was bending up in an insane amount. Remember that? It was a green laser.
Yeah, that's what I'm
long time
referring.
ago.
That's one of the examples.
Yeah.
I put it in one of my videos. I showed different examples of lasers curving upwards, showing upward refraction. You know, they would try and attribute that to the Earth dropping down, but we can see plain as day that, and we know that there's upward refraction because the air at the ground above the water and above the land is going to be warm, especially in the heat of the day when they like to attribute that part of the day is no refraction. Well, when the sun's overhead and close to overhead, that's when your surface is going to be heated up, heating the air right above it up, and the cooler air is going to be above it.
Well,
So
they say that
the cooler air is denser. They like to talk about pressure, and they also like to talk about temperature and all that, but it has to do with the density. And now the colder air is going to be denser above the surface, so the light's going to refract upward.
They say the main, Brian, you got an echo. They say that the main way that heat transfers to the gas is it radiates. The sun hits the ground, then the heat transfers from the ground into the gas, and it doesn't happen on the way down. Like the light from the sun isn't heating the gas up in the air like that. Otherwise, the top would be hot. So they have to say that it's interacting with the ground.
Think about this, though, Jeremy.
Brian, you got an echo.
Hey, think about this real quick. This is important. Okay, so most days we see little inferior mirages. Okay, it's like a reflection of itself right below the actual object. So we're seeing the object, we're seeing it right in front of us, and we're also seeing it below us. So that shows you the light's refracting upward, and we're getting an image below it. Okay, so it's making things drop in the distance on standard days, on regular days, like during the heat of the day. Period.
You got a video out there about this math that you're talking about, Brian?
No, I haven't made the video on the math, but I'm gonna. You know, just it's simple. It's just a simple equation, but it works. It's not
Why
quite
do you
8
only have
inches.
5 inches? Why do you only
Because-
have 5 inches per?
It's not 8 inches, man. I was just trying to work it out to what we see and what would work with the sun, and it's like between 4 and 5 inches. I'm trying to narrow it down
Well, how do they get 8 then?
because their radius. It has to be 8 because that's what their
No, I'm
math
saying
dictates.
when they claim to be measuring it and shit optically or whatever, they're getting 8 inches.
Yeah, well, I've never seen that. I've seen you know, I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, on any day we can show that they have to use 7/6R, okay, as their standard refraction. So that means it's not quite 8 inches right off the bat. That makes
True,
it about
true.
7 inches, right? So that's already lowering it down to about 7.5 probably. But still, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt, no doubt. You got an echo, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I've been saying this whole time. It's ever since I got into this. I'm like, yo, there's some kind of optical phenomena happen that's making things appear to drop in the distance. That's why it was such a shock for me when Randy flipped, because it's like, dude, we've been seeing this optical drop happen for years now. Wow, that's why the mountains underneath the the Blackpool Tower there. Like, this is not nothing new. I mean, he thinks it is because it happens over land or over land and water. I don't know. I forget the excuse, but
He was the one who always pushed that because he was always talking about sinking. He said, I think there's some kind of sinking going on.
yeah.
And then remember his sun glare theory? I mean, he was all about all that.
The sun is definitely affecting the way we see things, because if you take a straight object and let the sun, the bright light hit it or something, and you get a little glare, it'll make the straight object appear curved from the glare of the light source hitting it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Remember in that spirit, black and red spirit level with the table?
Oh, yeah,
you can see where the glare of the light hitting it, and it's curving those straight lines.
Huh.
Today on Jose's, they're trying to use the compression argument. B-Ball's trying to, even after seeing the NASA document that Gleam showed, shout out to Gleam.
Me and
Yeah,
Jose, bro,
Yeah.
me and Jose destroyed that in Gems yesterday morning. I can't believe they were
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
do that.
Jose was giving it some friction. I'll give Jose that. He was giving some friction to that argument, but nobody called it out 100% like they should have, because I was even looking back through some old footage. I've heard what's his name? God, what's the guy's name who did the test with the leaky water levels?
Oh,
Slice
yeah, I know.
Barkane. I've heard him when he was talking to the mind of God. I heard I could compile a video of about 3 or 4 Globers saying that pretty much proving that wrong. Because how could it be a curve? Just think about this. Try and tie in 7 other pictures. Take one picture of the horizon and then turn to the right. Turn to the right at a marker. It'd be a flower. It would be a bunch of arcs tied together as a circle. They're retarded.
Even the real Glober, the good Globers that were over at Gems, they were even saying, it's called the horizon's, a plane, a circular plane that we're seeing. There's no drop left to right, or you'd have that wavy fucking. It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, you have some kind of weird wavy horizon thing going on, and it's just it's all about the way the
That's
sunlight.
what pisses me off, man.
The compression, the barrel distortion.
I think are you breaking up or is it me?
It might have been me. Am I good now?
Yeah, I hear you now. That's what pisses me off is on this channel, Brandon holds everything to task. Okay. We back him up, and as much as we don't like it sometimes, we say, okay, that wouldn't prove either way. We're honest and say, okay, that doesn't prove a globe, but no, that doesn't prove a flat earth either, but we do show all the points, about, and we say that, debunking the globe is independent of proving a flat earth, but we're honest on this channel. And usually one of us will hold everybody else to task. If not Brandon, it'll be somebody else. If we make an error, if we try and use it as flat earth proof, then it'll certainly be a good flat earth evidence or proof. We don't try and make shit up, man, like they do.
I'm telling you, there's some dope ass flat earth proof we could get right now. Not right now, but with this sub-solar point, that shit would be some dope ass flat earth proof. I don't know why our heads should be jumping on this shit.
Well, in terms of the idea of like the future of this, of everything with the shape of the earth and cosmology, I feel like it's like a ticking time bomb at this point. I mean, I've always said, the truth stands the test of time and it's solid, whereas lies always crumble. And certainly this globe lie has been pushed and and there's people supporting it. And then even in this community, there's a lot of people that are trying to debate it and force it, and they're trying to stop flat earth and everything. And the idea that the earth isn't a globe. But I just see it as like a ticking time bomb where it's like the truth is there. It always has been there. And it's just a matter of time. And I think it's all designed this way, to unfold the way that it is. And we're all here for a reason and everything. So I think as this unfolds, like there's going to be several dominoes that will continue to fall into place. And then whenever it like hits a breaking point, like the butterfly effect, like whenever it kind of hits the tipping point where more of the actual masses of people or the scientific community become aware of it, that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, they have a response to everything. And like somebody like McToon, he would say, well, the globe Earth, everything you say, the globe Earth predicts that. The globe Earth predicts that. No, no, no. If you say that I'm looking at the sun and the moon up in the sky, and there's a shadow on the moon, and it's supposed to be the Earth, no, your globe does not predict that. And you could, your refraction model predicts that. In fact, the refraction model don't even predict that, but they'll come up with something, and they'll say that shit's proven with math. When, dude, you can prove anything with math just by adding the variables you need. Okay,
Right.
I can prove that light refracts upward. I mean, I could prove our model and say that with upward refraction, light bends up 5 inches per mile squared, and just show it, or I'll adjust my refraction to what we see in the photograph. That's all they're doing. Their model does not predict. I mean, it might predict it, but it doesn't prove it. Okay.
Yeah, it's all about what you name the variables. You have to prove that that variable is actually what you say it is.
So I got Rumpus. This is about 5 videos back on my channel, Flat Earth Test. Anybody ain't heard about it, go to Flat Earth Test. But I got Rumpus stomping on himself, and like 2 sentences. I'm telling him that he tells me that something to move, it takes a force to make something move. It takes a force. I said that heat's a force, temperature is a force. He's like, no, it's not. A force is something that makes something move. He's saying an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted on by force. And then the next sentence I said, so can I move something with heat, Rumpus? Can I move something with heat? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, then it's a damn force. You just said that if I can move something with it, it's a force. So they double speak on every topic if you pin them down and go into detail.
Yeah, I mean, you can move things with light, with heat, with cold. Like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can move shit with.
That's my whole point, is that everything works in disequilibrium. It's not just heat. It's not just pressure. It's altitude. Everything's going to follow a scale of seeking equilibrium. And that's temperature, pressure, and altitude.
I forgot the name of this thing, but it's a little white and black windmill. One side it has the little things painted black, another side they're white. And then you put that in a vacuum, and then you let the light hit it, and it'll start spinning crazy fast. I forgot the technical name for it, but
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. Wonder if I can find that.
yeah, I mean, you can make shit move with light. Light. They say light has no mass, so they want to say, oh, if something can move you, then it has mass. No, not if you're gonna run around saying light has no mass and I can make shit move with it.
People say it has no rest mass, Jeremy.
Okay, what's rest mass?
Rest mass would be the mass at rest, but light's not at rest,
So it does have mass.
No, it has momentum, and
Can
momentum.
you prove the light's not at rest? Because when I when I turn my light on, it brightens everything up, and then it doesn't keep getting brighter. It ain't accelerating. It's just everything's lit up. Just how it was after I turned it on.
Well, they do make solar sails, which use the fact that light has momentum as a
Heat,
mechanism to
right?
move it.
Yeah, the light is applying heat, which causes a differential, which is going to cause a current.
Do you understand the difference between heat and energy?
That's why I like to pin y'all down. You want to say
Between energy and the force.
when it suits you, you want to say energy, okay? I like to pin down the energy you're speaking of, okay? Don't just say energy.
Type of heat it is. Like somebody said earlier about radiative heat. There's different types of heat, but energy and a force are not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, but if we can move something with light and do the same thing with heat or pressure, I mean, I'm just saying specify the energy. Don't just say energy.
So
How much energy? I want everything. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask about this rest mass. So it has no rest mass. So does light have mass at all?
Like I said, people might say it has it implies mass, but I wouldn't even say that. I would just say that it's true. It has no rest mass. It does have momentum, but momentum does indeed imply mass.
Kosher, that's why I'm talking about ice when it's not frozen.
Right?
So
You know
you're
what I mean?
saying
Like,
light
it
has
never
mass.
is. Ice is always frozen. Light's always moving. How can science even entertain the idea of light not moving?
That's what I'm saying. It's not moving.
It's not real. It's not real. That's the point. It's not real. Whatever is derived from that cannot be real.
So you say it implies mass. This do you understand why this sounds like double speak?
Momentum.
It's very confusing.
No, the equation for momentum is what? It's mass times the velocity, right?
So you're
So,
saying
yeah.
light has mass.
The acceleration.
How
mass
can you
times
have
the
rest mass with
acceleration,
something
right?
that's
That's
never
a
at
force.
rest?
A force is mass times acceleration.
Okay.
Momentum is
That's
mass
another
times
thing. Don't just say
velocity.
force. I
Hold
want to
on,
hear
hold
what
on, hold
force
on.
y'all are referring to. Sorry.
That's all right.
Hold on.
You're not saying a force. I said momentum.
Okay, so it has momentum. So does it have mass, yes or no?
Well, as I said, it can be said it has no rest mass, but it's not. I wouldn't make the claim to say that it has any mass. But like I said, the fact that it has momentum implies it has mass. So
Okay.
So you have no fucking idea.
if you look it up, it says it's got no rest mass, and it says that they recently did a test that reveals that it has a non-zero value.
So light has mass.
So non-zero would
Like
be
I said,
a positive.
I don't make
number.
that claim specifically, but
In the next sentence, it'll say a photon is a massless particle.
Right.
You know, it's all double speak.
It depends on
Whatever
what
they need it to be
situation
for
they
whatever
need it.
argument is what they'll use.
That's it,
Brian, your mic.
whatever they need it to be.
Brian, you got an echo going, bro.
why would they need it to not have mass? I mean, they're just measuring it and trying to, describe exactly what it is. They're not trying to just make up properties of it just to entertain people.
No, they're trying to make up properties of it to fit their model.
No.
Yeah.
They're trying
I'm
to
not
make sense of
surprised
these
they're
things.
saying it does have. My bad. Go ahead, Coach.
That's it. They're just trying to find the truth of it, make sense of it, whatever they find to be true. Like they do really make solar sails. That's a real thing.
No one ever
Right,
said
where?
it wasn't a real thing.
Where'd they make a solar sail at?
They apply them to satellites
Oh boy.
Oh God.
from space probes and all that kind of stuff. There's a Japanese one called the what's it called?
Don't start pounding on the desk already. We're not even getting hot and heavy yet.
I was trying to remember the name of this.
Speaking of which, you guys see the balloon satellite caught in front of the moon?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch this video, but I saw the little thing of it. Yeah.
No, where's that at? Is that data?
Well, Nathan put it up, and then he put a link of the actual video. Dude, it's pretty funny. It's caught right in front of the moon. Check on, I think it's Nathan 1980 or one of his channels.
Okay. So it's funny when I look up this solar sail, Kosho, there's a drawing. Is there any actual pictures of the solar sail? I just find that interesting.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, they have the one they have coming up is called the Icarus. It's the one that the Japanese are getting ready to send up. Let me send a picture.
I see. Okay. Whatever. Let me find that video. So what happened? They caught a balloon satellite in front of the moon. Let me see. Anybody know what the video is called?
I've seen that Crow caught that a couple times, man. There's a few videos. Gotta dig deep for it, but yeah, we've seen them crash to the ground. We've seen a few of them in front of the moon. But yeah, I'm trying to remember where that last one came in at. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but it's not popping out to me on Nathan's channel. Yeah, if anybody can find it, that'd be awesome. All right, so I'm glad we got to the bottom of whether light has mass or not. That was helpful. Not sure what it matters to the shape
Hey,
of the Earth, but it's interesting.
Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
have no idea where to post the link to that video.
Oh, just put it in general.
I'm new to this Discord. General? All right.
Okay, I see you posted a picture of a solar sail. Well, how does this thing work, Kosho?
Which thing?
The solar sail.
The solar sail. I mean, it just works. Like I said, because the fact that the photons have momentum when they strike these sails. These are lightweight sails, and the sun's energy, the energy from the photons is just imparted onto these objects and it accelerates them.
It applies pressure to the sail, or what?
So what?
It applies pressure to the
Hey,
sail.
once again, don't just say energy. What kind of energy?
It
Don't
imparts
just say energy.
energy. What does that mean?
It's momentum. It's imparts momentum.
It imparts momentum, so it hits the sail and pushes the sail.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay. Cool. And you put the link out there, Kiefer?
Which energy is it, Coach Joe? Which energy? Heat energy?
That would be kinetic
Radiation energy?
Yeah, I posted it.
Thanks,
Did
man.
they put the sail on the satellite balloons or the other satellites you guys think are out there?
Well,
What about the ones they drop in the clouds? Do those ones have solar sails on them, or just parachutes?
You're definitely gonna need a solar sail for that one.
Once they drop in the clouds,
Yeah.
I don't know why they would need them in clouds.
Good question.
Brandon, are we being trolled here? Because as far as I'm aware, that's Count Dooku's ship, and it is May the 4th be with you.
Count Dooku
Count Dooku.
from Star Wars.
Yeah, he uses
Oh.
solar sails to escape. Yeah.
Oh, the solar sail. Do you know anything about that? That seems pretty sketchy there.
It's Star Wars, mate. It's not real science.
Well, half of this shit is
Count
science
Dooku's
fiction.
shit.
It is May the 4th too. Good call, Adam.
It does look like something from Star Wars.
I
Yeah.
just thought you were being trolled on May the 4th that we're getting solar sails, mate. That's just.
Are you trolling us, Gosho, or is this a real thing?
No, it's real deal stuff, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, Left Lane knows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Left
common
Lane's an
knowledge.
expert. Common knowledge, yeah.
It's demonstrable by Count Dooku's ship.
What's up, Adam?
All right, so here's this video of this balloon satellite in front of the moon. Helium balloon satellite.
Kosho, how about that balloon satellite? Is that a real thing or no?
Yes, as
What do
far
you
as
think?
satellites, real satellites, we've only seen them on balloons, in the air, or on the ground, or in the clouds.
Yeah, I just want to hear what Kosho thinks of this balloon satellite. It's a real thing, right, Kosho? Or, I mean, do you deny that that's a real thing or what?
All right.
The heck, man? Defaulted to 240p.
Does anyone know what the satellite does?
Hey, Kosho, are balloon satellites real? Oh, we must have lost him.
Adam caught him on his trolling us and he left.
Oh, yeah, that certainly is a balloon satellite. That's what it looks like.
Does anyone know the purpose of it?
Cable TV?
Is that on any
Balloon?
websites that tell you where all the satellites are or anything? You know what I mean?
Right. Let's see if it's in the original video.
It appears to be a long
balloons that are-
stare.
the
'cause
satellites
when
that are on balloons
you get the
are
close
called
up,
artificial satellites.
3
and they can use
balloons.
them.
Oh,
Hold on. Go ahead, Adam.
Sorry. I was just going to say, when it's funny this, I saw this the other day on Nathan's, and you know, what does it mean? But if you look at it, it really is like the Simpsons thing. If you zoom, you can see multiple balloons. So maybe it's designed to hang there for a long time, but you can certainly see more blobbiness and then a differential in the structures, the two shapes that pass over the moon. But it's
oh wow.
How much investigating did you guys do with this one?
0. We're watching it right now. That's how much investigating we did.
It's not hard to compare the size of the object in the moon to determine how far it is.
Yeah, but that's if you think the moon is 240,000 miles away. So yeah.
Sure, and if you think it's closer, then the object would be even closer.
Yep, that's right. That's how distances work. Thank you for that.
Exactly. So I mean,
genius
instead of wondering if it's a
So what are you proving?
we can just measure it.
Did you guys hear
was
that?
supposed
If something else is closer, then
oh.
the other thing that's in front of it is closer than that. I didn't know
That's
that
good.
until just now.
That's
Yeah, we
why
don't
we're making speculations then.
Thank you.
Hold on, I'm calling my wife. That was amazing.
Coach, I mean, you don't understand, right?
Brian, you
It's
got
so
an echo.
relevant to that freaky silhouette that's there, irrespective of the relative distances. Look at it. It is just like, look, oh, it's shocking. I have no explanation for that. The best that I can come up with is the Simpsons cartoon spoof.
Maybe it's that house from Up.
But if any baller's got a better explanation, I'm happy to listen.
Oh, you want to hear some shit, huh? Okay. Coach, you got an explanation for this? No. All right. Howard?
I would say if you knew the size of it, and you could use the perspective equation, you could measure its angular size in that image, and then work back, and it'll tell you how far away it is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's if you
That would
believe
require
Does
you
that disprove
to
that
know
it's
the size
actually
of the
there,
moon.
though?
Wouldn't it? It requires you to know the size of the moon.
So if we calculate it, does it mean that it's not actually there?
Not the size of the moon, the size of the balloon.
You have to know how big
The
the
point is
balloon
you
is.
determine the distance or the estimated distance of this object. Yeah.
You'd have to know how big it is. You don't know how big
Yes.
it is. You don't know how far it is. You don't know how fast it's going. You don't know anything.
Well, we could investigate and
Speak for
probably
yourself, Brendan.
find out how big.
So you know
These
some of the
guys think you
variables.
can-
You know 2 out of the 3
When you say
variables.
you don't know anything,
Do you know 2 out of the
then
3
you say
variables?
You don't know anything.
Do you know
but
2
I
out
know
of
it's
3
not the
variables?
size of the Empire State Building, and I know it's not as small as an ant. So you can make pretty good estimates, man.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's really something to know there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Just narrowed that down.
That's
Problem
nothing.
solved.
That's knowing nothing, Kosho, just so you know, in common language terms.
No,
You,
that-
like I said,
that's
speak
more
for
than-
yourself,
that's more
Brendan.
than-
Okay, I am speaking
Yeah,
for
more
myself.
than-
I'm speaking for most of humanity too. That's how they would define that.
You say
Knowing
you
that
know
this
nothing,
balloon
then
is not as
yourself.
small as an ant or as big as the Empire State Building. Is knowing nothing.
Yeah, that's like when they try to use time, the duration of time as an independent variable. I'm like, so you know nothing. You know what I mean? Because knowing that time, something happened in a duration of time is nothing.
Nothing. That everything happens in a duration of time. Every fucking thing that has ever happened or ever will happen happens in a duration of time.
Yeah.
And I'm confused. Is this explanation to explain away that we didn't see the balloon satellite in front of the moon?
No, they could say we don't see their satellites because it's moving like 9 to 10 times faster than a bullet, and we don't see a bullet. So why would we see a satellite going 10 times faster?
In one breath, you guys will say that you don't know anything, you can't know anything, and then the next breath, you guys are claiming it's a satellite. Does that
What
trouble
did
you?
it look like? Did you watch the whole video? Did you see them pushing it up in the fucking balloon, and then you saw the exact same thing in front of the moon? I mean, come on, dude, really?
He's a
Watch
hardcore
it from the
Glober.
beginning,
Give him
and then
break.
come back to us.
Give him a break. He's a hardcore Glober.
This is the part where you actually do, instead of making a claim on what this object is, you make a measurement and you try to figure out what information you can, and that's actually the
It looks
process.
about the same size, Coach. It looks about the same
I'll let you
size
know
as
what I've been-
airplane.
All right, we just did all that and we couldn't figure any of it out. Now what?
You guys didn't do
Can I ask
anything.
you a
Yep, I did all that
Yeah.
research. I did all that research you just said, and none of that is knowable at this point in time.
Literally didn't do any of that research.
Did
But
actually?
I'm almost
Yep.
done doing it.
I just did it.
You're right, Kosho. We measured it. It ended up being Santa Claus.
Well, Kosho, how do we know? How do we know that it's not something significantly bigger than the Empire State Building that's really close to the moon? That's 250,000 miles away. It could be absolutely
point.
massive. That thing. How do we know that? How have you affirmed
Right
that
there,
statement?
right there's an image of it. Is there anything to compare it to on the ground?
Huh?
Yeah, the ones that fall from the sky all the time.
It could be 100 miles long just over the surface of the moon, though, couldn't it?
Yeah, we could use the Tycho crater 60 miles, right? And just use like a mountain.
There
How
you
big would
go.
a mountain
So
be? It doesn't add up.
You can't. You don't
maybe
know how
NASA's
far it
launched
is.
a balloon over the surface of a giant balloon over the surface of the moon, and that's
You
what
have
we're
to know
seeing,
either.
100 miles wide.
Could be.
You have to know. I don't think heads were paying attention when Brandon said we don't know all the variables. Right? Did you guys miss that part, or was it?
No, that's
I think
the
that's
key
the
point.
point I'm making, dude.
Yeah, he's reinforcing that point because he's right. Actually, Kosho knows less than he thinks he knows. Because
I wasn't talking to you.
it could be bigger than the
said
Empire State Building.
He just made the statement that it was smaller than the Empire State Building. How does he know that? That's the point I'm making. How have you come to that conclusion?
That's what you're stuck
Just that
at,
one, Kosho. Can you just justify why you know? Oh, dude, let me finish my question. Yeah, just for a second. Can you just justify why you know that is definitely smaller than the Empire State Building? I can agree bigger than an ant. I'll give you that. I don't think it's on the lens. A small, a slightly midget ant on the lens. So, but how you justify that it's definitely not bigger than the Empire State Building?
I waste my time with that in the middle of figuring this out. You guys, just 1 second.
I got another problem with this.
You can't, man. Zabi, you can't. You can't justify that previous statement you made.
He's not going to answer that, Adam. But another problem is a satellite just sitting up. A satellite just sitting up there. Okay, they're going to call that geostationary orbit and say it's going 1,000 miles an hour. I say it's just sitting overhead. Okay, and that's what all their like communications satellites is. Their geostationary satellites that they're calling orbit. Their satellites are orbiting. Okay, what's the problem with just saying it's just sitting overhead? It's
What's
because
holding
when we launched the balloon. When we launched a balloon and we see it get above the thin blue atmosphere and it ain't starting to take off, it's not hitting a wind shear and all of a sudden starting to haul ass, it's just going straight up and maybe over with a little bit of wind, varying from day to day. So at what point does it start racing and traveling? Because in my view, it's just sitting there stationary over a point.
Well, if you think you're on a giant spinning ball, then it has to be moving. See? Step one. You forgot step one. Assume you're on a giant spinning ball.
Yeah, that seems to be the step one with every argument. It comes with an assumption.
Those could also be just regular balloons, like from a birthday party, as someone in chat has pointed out. Toy balloons.
Could be.
I've just Googled.
What's that, Chris?
I don't think you'd get the balloon and the moon in focus if it was that close. It'd have to be bigger and at least up higher than airplanes to get the moon and the balloon in focus at the same time.
I don't know how much.
A satellite.
We could try blowing it up even more.
I just Googled.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Hello. Okay, I just Googled all images of satellites crossing, and it came up with some really very interesting images that people have captured over the time. And one is of an aeroplane, and I'm thinking we pretty much know how high these aeroplanes are flying, and we can maybe calculate the size of this aeroplane that's crossing the moon with the satellite to more or less see how far up they are.
The problem
just
is,
an idea. I'm not good at measurements.
with the airplane, we can do that because we know how big an airplane is and we know how far away it is. So then we can calculate.
And we know the size of the satellites and the balloons as well, don't we?
In these particular balloons, we don't. We don't really know anything about them. They could be anything from toy balloons to gigantic balloons, as Adam pointed out. So,
they're all looking pretty similar sizes that are flying across the moon. Images that people have captured. Much know because we've looked at people that make the satellites and they display them So,
Well, maybe
I
we
mean,
can
Brandon,
get like
can
specs
I
Only
on the
thing,
Google
Brandon, I
loon.
think you.
Hold on,
Like
Brandon,
specs
can I
on the
not just
Google
take-
loon. Go ahead.
Brandon
Bad, I
alluded
never heard you.
earlier
Go ahead.
to
You go.
having
You're
to
a new
know
guy,
the
you
size
go.
of an airplane. And I think there are images of airplanes transiting and then like that. They tend to be a lot faster. But what you can draw from that is at least you do have an understanding that, unlike Kosho's statement, it's not necessarily between an ant and the Empire State Building, but it's going to be within the parameters of an aeroplane. So you could kind of use some approximations to kind of gauge something as at least as to how far the airplane is away.
Yeah.
But in this case, we don't even know what we're looking at. I don't know what a satellite is. I know the pictures they sent me of Sputnik and all these things, and they're this big. But look at the size of that thing. Look at it. Its transit time is very slow compared to planes. But as for the rest of it, how could you draw any inference from its size to then try and calculate its distance and then place any inference on what relationship that has to the moon? Is what we've got here is
the relationship as to how far away the satellites reckon they are in this orbiting thing that isn't there.
Let me ask Coach a question real
but
quick.
that would require a
People
claim.
out there.
Hold on, you guys. Coach Joe, can you take an object of unknown size and an unknown distance and get any information out of that? Any useful information?
Just so everyone's on the same page here. When I told you the size, the range, right? It's well within that range. The range can be narrowed down to much smaller than that. You can make estimates based on the range of the size that you want to give the object. And the object of the moon, we know the size and the distance. You can claim that you don't, but because I do, I can use that to determine, help me determine the size and distance of this other object.
Coach, if I have an object,
This kind of stuff is not, it's not rocket science.
Fantastic
for
you.
Please, if we have an object of unknown size and at an unknown distance, is there any information we can get out of it?
Yes.
How so?
I just made you aware, man.
By the
It's
size
not a
of
satellite.
an object in the background?
Satellites
So,
move
Coach,
around the
are
Earth
you
in
saying
in
that your
about
model
100
confirms
minutes.
your model?
Not by definition, Phil. We're not talking about by definition, Phil.
It takes 100 minutes to get a satellite around the world. This is a balloon cannot move around the world in 100 minutes.
We're talking about your electronics up there hanging on balloons.
The world ain't move.
Yo, I feel bad. I cut some new guy off. Did he want to say something earlier?
I think we should just pay a bit of reverence to Phil here. He knows what he's talking about. He released 15 of these satellites last week. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to talk to each other through the internet without the power of these satellites that Dr. Phil.
I have
it was about
footage.
6 weeks ago.
I have actual footage of that I would actually like to remind and discuss for a minute, of these satellites that appear to be dropped into clouds. This is an oldie but goodie. So this is Phil's work here. He provided this video footage of these satellites that are apparently being dropped into clouds that look much closer than they should.
No, they're not. It's an optical.
Brandon's proven that beyond shadow of a doubt.
Silly goose.
Dude,
stop being an idiot.
I've watched this video 1,000 times, Phil. That satellite goes
You're an
behind that
idiot.
cloud.
It's an optical illusion.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so is your horizon.
Why aren't the satellites taking off faster than the whatever's dropping them? Shouldn't they be hauling ass? Why'd you cut the video? Because it got the clouds.
Like
that's
your
why.
horizon?
You see, it's exactly the same video that they're showing that is the parachutes that they're using now, so they don't just crash to Earth. And then you're showing a video showing exactly what they say that's what they're doing to stop them crashing to Earth.
There's
So I don't know how you're saying it's an optical illusion.
Hold on, let Phil talk. Go ahead.
You can't have a satellite on a balloon. A satellite can cost as much as $100 million. Weigh at least 4 tons. You think satellites just
And that's what the
What
colours.
the fuck are you talking
Always
about,
comes
Phil?
back to
I
money.
can
Always
put
comes back to
anything on
money
the
with
moon.
Phil. It's always millions
Yeah,
of
of course,
dollars
and
with
how
Phil.
But,
like
but hold on.
Every time.
What is this?
We're
Hold
not
on,
talking about
guys.
the
Hold on,
satellite
guys.
by definition.
Hold on, hold on.
Whoa.
What is this Wikipedia article that I see here then? It's called Balloon Satellite. Sataloon. A balloon satellite, also occasionally referred to as a sataloon, is inflated with gas after it has been put into orbit. So this is a balloon, right, Phil?
yes, it's not. It's satellite. It's just
Yeah,
protected
stutter
by a
for
sheath.
me.
It's still in orbit.
Okay, but you just got done saying that you can't have a balloon go so-and-so speed or hold a
Not
satellite.
a balloon. It's just a satellite covered by a sheath.
They just put balloon in the
Right,
name
the
just
balloonists
because,
didn't
right?
use helium
But
to go
you
up
just
and travel
balloon,
around the
you have
world
something
in the jet
hangs off it.
streams, which is what these balloons are doing. No,
No, a balloon means something hangs off it. This is the satellite in orbit.
no, there is no orbit.
It's not hanging off
Goodness
anything. It's
sake.
in orbit.
There's
Okay,
no
can I
There
orbit.
is no
ask
orbit.
Orbiting is not a
please?
thing.
There is no
Because
orbit.
he posted something on my server, Professor Phil. Remember we were discussing your satellites and what you're doing with these organizations and who these
Yeah,
organizations
we
were and all
call it a
that.
circuit.
Did you actually put these? Wait, one second. Did you actually put these satellites in orbit, or you just claim that they are?
I put them there.
Right, how did
How did
Elon
you put them
Musk
there?
satellites
Physically,
get up
did you put them up?
into
Yo, can you fix your mic? Who
all
is this?
Chrissy,
all
it's
traveling slowly
Chrissy,
across the
Chrissy,
sky? How did they
Chrissy.
arrive up there?
Chrissy,
Sorry. Yeah.
can you fix your mic, please? Your mic is like there's a lot of like
Hello?
reverb or
Yeah.
feedback or something.
Yeah, it's breaking up horribly.
It's like
Just,
Sorry.
Yeah, Professor Phil left, so
Now
I'm
be
not going to
quiet.
answer. But I really would like to know how he did this because he's claiming that he did, but before I swore he said that he didn't on my server. So I'd like to know how he actually himself put these satellites into orbit.
He
I'd like
doesn't
to
know. He doesn't even know where he is right now. Phil, what's your name?
Right.
Phil, what's your name?
I want to hear him respond to what Brandon said. I want Brandon. Brandon made a comment. I want to hear Phil respond to Brandon what he just read.
Phil's gone. Phil
we've
just
seen.
runs away.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, but we shouldn't cut him off like that. That one guy who was telling
I
the stutter
know.
and shit. That's I don't like that.
Yeah, don't do
Phil's
that.
very, just guys in future. Phil's very precious, and I don't say that in a negative way. As soon as you start talking over him or barking at him, he will just disconnect from the call.
But still, there's no call, and just if you don't have nothing to say, there's one thing cutting somebody off with a point or to stop them from a straw man to make a quick point, but just to go blah blah blah. Blah. That's just
don't
pointless.
copy if they stutter. Yeah, if they start stuttering or something, no need to do that. You're right.
Yeah, you can
Is
make a
he
comment
here?
they stutter, but don't keep cutting them off. You know, you can point out they stutter, especially on Fridays, but don't just keep going on and on. Is my point. But no, let me say this. So we were talking about the balloons and everything, and we were having an argument. This is yesterday on Jose's, and we were arguing because they were talking about the helium balloon, and I was saying the helium can't hold the weight of the balloon once it gets down to a vacuum. There was 3 water balloons, right? Because no other balloon would work when they put them in a vacuum chamber. They had to use a water balloon because it's real small and real dense, real tight. So I said I could even make the argument that because 2 of them popped, and the one finally got tight enough where you could argue that the helium got denser and fell. But the point is that it barely fell. You know, it barely went to the ground. And I'm trying to tell them that dropping objects at the same time, they're trying to tell me it's air resistant and that a helium balloon would fall at the same rate in a vacuum as a lead ball. And I pointed out the helium in the vacuum chamber, it barely falls once they hit a vacuum. And they think that them last few particles, the way they describe it, is enough to make it start hauling ass where a balloon would fall at the same rate as a lead ball. And that's bullshit. If you have something that closely matches the density of its medium, then it's going to be obvious to tell distinguish the speeds of its drop. So helium balloon. So yeah, if you go dropping 2 metals or solids in a vacuum.
Someone mute him. Come on.
Yeah, but do y'all see my point though? The helium balloon
we
barely.
gotcha.
I mean, it's not falling at the same rate as a lead ball.
The leather did. The feather did. Same as the bowling ball.
I'm still trying to figure out how you find the size or distance to something without knowing anything about it. Just knowing from something the size of something in the background, that ain't going to tell you You can make a guesstimate, but you never know how big the.
You in that video, didn't they show it them launching it so you could sort of get some estimates from that?
Oh, if they showed them
determine
launching
the
it,
structural
sure. I didn't
size.
know we had video of them launching. So it's a satellite on a balloon. Then what's the fucking question?
Well,
that
it's a
was my
module on
point,
a
is-
balloon. It's not a satellite.
I was saying you could probably take specs from like the Google Loon and try to base it. I don't know, but it's worth a try.
I mean, Phil just got done telling us they don't put satellite on balloons, and then Brandon just read a thing of where they have satellites on balloons.
Yeah,
well,
and I also
let's see
I
it,
also
let's see
followed
it.
that same link, and it also said they were put into orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well,
a
their
satellite by
orbit, the
definition
heliocentric
is a-
orbit is
oh.
is floating around the ball, and an orbit over a flat plane would be floating in a circle or above the ball or above the flat plane. That's
Yeah.
all.
Problem solved.
So,
for that. So
orbit. You can call it an orbit if you want. That's fine. It's just not going around in a
Exactly.
ball.
So the point is, Phil just got demolished by Wikipedia. Thanks, Wikipedia.
And his own video.
And his
But,
own
you know,
video
I will
satellite.
say that Phil is not as bad as a lot of these people that we talk to on
Well-
a daily basis. You know what I'm talking about, Jeremy. Or like even Kosho isn't. I know we may not agree with them. Kosho will concede in certain areas. Professor Phil will have this conversation. He doesn't want to be yelled at. He doesn't want to be talked over. He just wants to have a discussion. And even though we don't agree with them, and we could say, hey, look, you're insane almost, but not. See
Yeah,
what you're talking about sounds true. At least we can have that discussion with some of these, not the rest of them.
Yeah, whoever was doing that stuttering thing when Phil was stuttered a little bit, don't do that again. That's not.
I was the one that said stutter for me, but I don't know who kept it going.
It's no big deal, guys. I mean, enough
Yeah,
said
it's not a
about
big
it,
deal,
you know.
but I mean,
Yeah.
Well, Phil's sensitive.
Well, Phil Bell was right in saying that they don't put satellites on balloons because by definition, satellites will be stuff that is in our orbit.
Hang on, I may
All right, read him the
Are you
article
fucking
again, Brian.
serious? Are you
Read
fucking
him the
serious?
wiki article again with the satellites on balloons.
A balloon satellite,
Do you
also
understand that
occasionally
that
referred to as
wiki
a
article was
satelloon,
about?
which is trademark name owned by blah blah blah, is inflated with gas after it's been put into orbit. It's a balloon satellite.
After it
You
puts
understand
into
they're talking
orbit.
about things like the Echo 1, which were put into orbit first, and then they were inflated in orbit.
And then we've got
It's not the same thing as a balloon.
the other
Super
kind.
apologize about that. I had no idea it was even on mic, guys. I super apologize.
Well, I didn't even pay attention, to be honest with you. And then we've got these ones that NASA releases, which are quite literally
Am I still
launched
muted?
on a balloon. No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
These are also commonly referred to as balloon satellites.
Brandon,
That's
Then we
you,
want to retract this statement of we don't put satellites on balloons, or you guys want to keep this nonsense going?
Balloon satellite
satellites on
workshop,
balloon is
balloon
pretty much-
launch.
Two different things.
this Brandon, you just played some of the images where aeroplanes managed to transit the moon. I think that exemplified the point in terms of this speed, the rate of transition. Whatever these things are, whatever the size they are, we can say they're a lot higher than airplanes. They are a lot higher. Quite a lot bigger, aren't they, as well? That's one hell of a big thing that's transiting at that. Yeah, either now I'm not. There is the comparative that the plane's flying in a particular direction, but I think there's that image kind of shows that whatever it is it's got to be pretty bloody huge. It's making that imprint as a satellite in the supposed area that Dr. Phil launches these things into.
It could
that'd
be that it's
pretty massive.
not very high.
Can anyone hear me? And is my mic okay?
Oh, it's much better now, Chris.
Sounds
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Brandon, look in the general.
This footage is from Askin Raziv, and I think he said he caught this himself. It's really interesting. It actually, if you watch it, it kind of looks like the plane goes through the fucking moon, which doesn't make any sense. It's probably just a digital thing, but it is an interesting video. I see that, Gleam. ULM launches weather balloons.
In the UK, you can you can launch weather balloons. Amazon is selling second-hand used weather balloons.
They look like it in the video. Sorry.
I think we can probably, could we bag one of them and send it up, and do our own footage of things? What? I don't know.
I'd like to get a footage. There is one thing I would like to do with a balloon, and Ranty proposed it one night of taking a balloon. You have a camera on a balloon, and you take a picture of the moon from the ground level on the ground, and then you send that same camera up, same settings, and try to catch a picture of the moon with that camera and see if it got bigger or smaller, or you know what. That would be a neat thing to do.
Definitely on a night of a full moon, we send it up. We can get the size of what we can see. So any other satellites that are going past with balloons, we can have a relative distance, knowing, there are so many ways to do this.
I'm working on that right now, guys. I'm actually working on that. I got a 20 by 20, one of them thin drop cloths. And last night I made the seams for it, where it's where I just folded it, so it's pretty big, And I need a light to hang from it to shine on it. So the first test I'm gonna do is just gonna be a simple one. And I tried to use hot air to see how high it would go up, but I've got to make the hydrogen. And I found an easy way with the stuff I use to clean concrete, but I'm going to send it up. Have a light shining on it. And I want to see.
Bro, be careful sending a balloon up because there's FAA regulations and shit. You know that, right?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
You can't just send a balloon. Yeah, just be careful, bro.
In
Make
the
sure
UK,
it's.
the CAA, you need to fill a form in. But, why can't we say we want to test the gases,
Yeah, I would say you're doing some kind of some kind of gas test or something, or just trying to get pictures of the spherical Earth.
Yeah,
I would put that right in there. I'm trying to get pictures.
Wait, what is the height? What's the limit before we have to start filling out forms and shit? What's the limit?
I'm just gonna have a look.
Isn't it like 400 feet or something like that?
UK
Before we have to
HAS.
ask permission from almighty government.
I'm having a look.
It's pretty low.
UK High Altitude Society.
Well, when we looked at those images of the balloon that Nathan posted and the aeroplane, which one has got the higher altitude and why? When we're going to look at these things to draw any inference against the moon, what's its purpose? I said, without knowledge of scales and stuff, I'm not sure what this gains you, other than spotting that actually some things go against the rhetoric, that they can't be doing that, because for them to be visible against the moon in the orbit, presupposition that it is, that they're in, it would have to be like the size of a football stadium or more, not these little things that are sending digital images in the orbit they purport to be
they're not in the
have
orbit,
a shadow on the
right.
moon. So
Yeah, no, I think the very first sentence in that news article there explains the whole reason for it. I think size is irrelevant and all of that. I agree with you, Adam. But that very first sentence right there, weather balloons are the yeah. Salute, my man. How are you?
Yeah, it could just be weather balloons. It could be anything. We don't know what the fuck that is.
No. Check the first sentence. Weather balloons are the primary source of data above the ground.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meaning
I
that
get your point now.
there's more data from weather balloons, obviously, than satellites.
Yeah.
The Himawari and whatnot are just a new thing, a new addition.
Right.
Good catch on that wording there. Yeah, that kills them right there. You should have more data from satellites. I mean, why are they even using weather balloons? Don't they have? Why wouldn't you put a weather satellite up there?
Because we've always used weather balloons, especially in the UK. We only know them as weather balloons.
No, I'm
But
just saying we have to keep
Gleam, isn't it fair? Isn't it fair to say that the radar technology is about 161 kilometers, roughly?
Yep.
That's
Radar
what they're
pointing
using.
up. Radar pointing upwards is the 99%. All the rev pointing downwards is the 1%.
But the idea is that they're sending a signal to bounce off the clouds to get it to signal back, right? That will have a limitation to detail based on the wavelength of light and the power to it, let's say. So if you still have those variables, then how high can you send these balloons to get the actual data that you needed? Right? There would be a limitation on that as well. So
Yeah, no, I think what happens is the radar firing signals outwards will detect how much it will blue shift and will detect all the composition of the atmosphere, let's say. And the ones pointing downwards are just seeing and double checking the same thing. It will be looking at the top of clouds though, coming downwards. So you'll get the microwaves or radio waves blocked by the top of the clouds or something, and then you'll know
Dude,
that there's a storm.
Article a long time ago that the LTE network in South America is ran on a less than a couple dozen balloons, or maybe it was a couple. I forgot what it was, but it wasn't that many. It was like between 10, 30 or something like that. But the whole continent, they made it sound like the whole continent for LTE phone communication was ran on the high altitude balloons, and they were talking about how long they stay up. And this was years ago when I first found out about satelloons and all that. And I think, not to toot my own horn, but I think I'm like one of the first people to discover that. And but I wasn't making videos back then. I try to find the information about the LTE network and how it's all on balloons, and it's gone. I can't even find it.
I found most of my information on anything pre-NASA. The balloonists, the people that actually went up there, the Wright brothers, everybody like that, before NASA, you get the truth. I mean, they're expecting us to dismiss 2,000 years worth of sailors' navigational maps, okay, for this new map that they've got out now. I've got a book. It's amazing. It's called The Phantom Atlas. This guy's put it out as a spoof, but he's gone to all the museums and got all of the old maps that were printed and used back in the day. And this is why I get angry, because these people want us to dismiss all of the mapping that was done by sailors over the last 2,000 years. That's all I'm going to say.
they're still in navigation. They're still using maps that are 150 years old to this day. So
do you have any evidence that any of these people thought the Earth was flat, though?
you mean their mental thoughts and what they thought? No,
I mean the people who made the maps.
their just job is to record the data as best they can, right? They
I'm
don't
wondering
need
if
to
they
think.
like chocolate ice cream or not.
They don't have to think of the Earth being a ball to do it, though.
Jen, do you think they like
Ask
chocolate
if
ice
they
cream?
presupposed a ball.
They understood 2 hemispheres. You know, the sun goes in a figure of 8. The stars, do you know what I mean? What you've put out there now really does not compute with my brain and what I see. And I look at all the old sailors' maps, everything pre the blue marble. Even Wikipedia cannot put a blue marble up because they know it's fraudulent. That's why they've put a ball as a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, Wikipedia cannot put the blue marble up as a model of the Earth because they know it's fraudulent. I'm just putting it out there.
It's not true.
Facts. That's true.
Hey.
If they put a blue marble ball to say that is what the Earth is, I would take them to court myself. They need to prove that. And they
can't prove it.
No.
They can't.
No, they can't. No, they can't.
They can show you
I know, I'm with you.
some calculations though, if you want some pictures.
No. But we can disprove their calculations. One of the things I've realised, I'm a newcomer. Okay, I came onto this. I think the first night Brandon took over. I don't know Ranty. Okay, and what you guys have done in 6 years in producing the evidence, no one could dispute. A judge could not dispute your evidence. What all of these things you've done. Now, what you've done, Brandon, allowing these ballers, surveyors to come on, they've exposed everything that they use to prove their theory. And luckily, you guys have debunked the lot. They're using math and imagination and assumption, and even their own books say you do design it on a flat surface, on a level. This is all these guys, and by allowing them and allowing the debate, it's made everybody research further, harder, stronger, and you lot have disproved it. You don't need to argue with these guys anymore. They really believe what they believe, but you've got enough evidence to just go, well, what do you think of this? How do you
I feel you.
explain this?
But who will you
Yeah.
say that? Who will you say that to, though, Chrissy? Where will you
Yeah.
take that evidence?
Sorry?
Where would you take that evidence? Because you're saying there's no need to argue with people who disagree anymore. But I would say
No.
there is. I would say there is. And this is why. Because if you believe that the earth is flat in the way that most people do, that means you also believe that this massive lie is being perpetrated on humanity. And so as a group, at least, you should feel a responsibility to stop that from continuing, to free up the rest of humanity from being victims to this great lie.
Yes,
So
absolutely. But there's a
think,
difference.
And they are victims.
Hey,
You
can I
were
just finish the
victims.
point? I'm really close, nearly at the end, I promise. So I think, if that's the case, if you do have that responsibility or feel that responsibility, then you need to get your ideas to be the established ideas. And whilst they might be established here in this Discord, they're very much not established in reality. So that's why.
We're not good with
we would,
consensus.
Okay,
Another
I
consensus reality. No thanks.
hang on. I ask people, what do your God-given senses tell you about the earth that you walk on? And I'm telling you, 75% of people have never even thought about it.
Well, that's, in my view,
Okay,
that's
and
kind of a daft way to think about it. You're
Produce the
limiting from the outset the means that those people have to make an accurate judgment on the issue. You're saying just use this method and don't use any others, and it'll be flat.
They need to use their God-given sense.
Yeah, well, that makes it sound good, but you are just limiting you're just finding ways of limiting their thought.
They only need
what that means.
They only need to drink a
That
glass
means-
of water to find out the level of their earth, what they're walking on, no
Yeah.
matter what their elevation. Okay.
As they watch a boat,
It's a simple thing in front of their noses. Everybody that I talk to, when you start talking about what water does, they've never in their life seen a bendy water or a bendy curve or anything. They understand. They see in a circle.
Do you think then that water is like an unexplained mystery on a globe?
And when
that,
you
that we don't have
explain-
any way to account for its behavior that we see. It's all just a big mystery.
To translate
nobody's
what's
really
been
thought
said
Flat for
there.
15, 20
Sorry,
miles, right?
to translate what's been
Start
said
letting
there.
You start
Hello?
letting them look at what's around them, and they start to see it for themselves. It isn't anything that I'm trying to indoctrinate them into. I explain how they've been indoctrinated into what they think, and when they actually realise, no one thinks about it. No one gives a shit.
Have you thought
But-
about it though? Have you?
You know
Hold
what
on a
I
minute.
mean?
Have you
No,
thought
because we've
about
all
it, though?
been told.
Have you thought? Hang on. Stop talking a minute. Have you thought about this idea? Is there a possibility, Chrissy, that you are incorrect about this?
No, there's no
How do you think
possibility
we got
whatsoever.
here?
Okay. Look, my grandfather. I'm 57 years old. My grandfather was a navigator in the Royal Air Force. Okay. When the moon landing happened and the phone call, my grandfather laughed. We grew up on the game of Risk. My sister was in the Air Force.
my husband was in the Navy. It's all straight ahead. We grew up I'm in the UK. We grew up thinking that the Earth was flat. I never gave it a second thought.
I don't doubt, Chrissy, I don't doubt that you can give me a long list of reasons you believe the Earth is flat. I have no doubt about that. However, my question is, could you be wrong?
No. Could you be wrong, Jem? Jem, could you be wrong?
Look, guys,
Exactly,
it's amazing how frightened you are.
Could you be wrong?
Yeah,
bring it up a straw man. That's all he's doing.
Got to censor me, haven't you?
Snide, Jem. Snide.
Got to censor me.
That same question
Terrified.
is just as applicable, and as we demonstrate,
And I will answer it. I'm very, very happy to
and
answer
more
it.
apparent to answer
I'm
yes
very, very happy to
in
answer
your
it, Adam.
situation than ours. Why are you
Got to
being
block me
snidey,
out. Just
bullshit
censoring me.
questions?
Censoring me. You're
Snide.
scared. You're frightened.
Snide,
Adam.
You're
You're
proper
frightened.
snide.
That's
let
why you're
Jem go,
repeating
guys.
the word snide over and over.
Go ahead.
Just to
That's
block
fine,
me
because
out.
you are.
Just to
That's
stop
why-
me
All
from
right,
talking.
all right, all right,
The
all right.
Rumpus
Let's
Panda.
not get all
Put it
fucking
in
meta
blind
here. Let's have a
stride. As
conversation.
you straw man
You
this
just trying to block me
decent
out. Terrified
You
to
scumbag.
hear the answer.
You absolute
you should be
scummer.
ashamed
You
of
always
yourself.
accuse
You
us of being so
absolute
scared.
scummer, as you use dirty baller tactics against
How is it a
decent
dirty
lady.
to ask someone if
Because
they
come here.
considered
You're a
if they could
scumbag,
be
mate.
wrong? That's
You're
a
an
dirty
absolute
ball of tactics.
scummer.
Are you going to let me
Scummer.
finish this conversation,
Scummer.
Brandon? Or shall I
No,
just
because all
leave?
you can do is take
All right.
on people that
All
are
right,
new
well,
to
we'll
it.
let the
Make it
censor
your
finish,
bullshit
Brandon.
questioning.
He's managed to
You're an
censor me.
absolute
Great job.
disgrace. You're a
Hold on,
disgrace, mate.
Let Jem.
You're a
Let Jem
disgrace to the
respond.
debate.
I'd like to add
You're gonna let
something
me
into that
finish?
when you have a chance.
Why are you allowing
Ah,
him?
you're a scummer.
Are you
You're a
allowing
scummer,
him?
Jem Panda. You're a
Why are you
scummer.
allowing
Please
this?
stop. Please stop.
You're a
Guys,
scummer.
guys,
I've
guys.
stopped.
Okay.
Well, Jem, the nature of what you asked, in my opinion, it's a manipulative question that's designed to instill some kind of a doubt in to
Can
control the other person's
Can I
mind.
finish? Can I make my point?
Respond,
Gio?
please,
The
guys.
reason-
Come on.
Since
Could
I've been
I
attacked,
could I say
You're an
something
absolute
when
scummer.
the
again,
opportunity
being
arises?
censored,
Women.
deliberately
You're an
censored.
absolute scummer,
Why are
Jem.
you allowing
You
this,
shouldn't be
Brandon?
allowed. You're an absolute scummer. If you're going to use scumbag tactics,
You see,
should
I
be
can't
allowed
even
to
respond to
scumbag
his
tactics
criticism.
against you.
You won't
Because
even
you're a
allow me to
scumbag.
respond to his
Because you're
criticism.
scumbag tactics.
It's
Adam,
just him
Scumbag
attacking me.
Adam,
tactics
please,
should
and
be
being
please
allowed
at least
to
let him
free hand
respond.
on attacking me.
Let's
This is
hear it.
ridiculous.
I know it'll be
You
bullshit. Let's hear it.
scream and you shout with your scumbag tactics.
You're arguing something that should be taught.
Oh,
like when you're
I would
6
like
years
to
old.
respond to these
With your
accusations that are being
somebody
made.
else has just
But he's
pointed
stopping
out
me. He's
with
doing
your
it again.
manipulative ways.
Why are you allowing this,
Adam,
guys?
Adam,
You
please.
Brandon.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Where's
It should be
Lemon when you
funny.
need him?
Go ahead, Jem.
It's interesting that he had to deploy that deliberate tactic to block me out. The reason I asked was because Chrissy was saying that she was talking about the people that she talks to and they've never thought about it. So I thought it was fair to just put the same thing to her. And I'm very happy to answer the question. It's just that Chrissy's answer was blotted out 3 times by Brian, and then by Gio, and then by that ridiculous episode that we've just seen from Adam. Terrified that she would have to actually give an answer to that question. So I'm very happy to answer. Yes, of course I consider if I could be wrong. My whole process in this is a process of considering if I could be wrong. It's looking at the evidence which is supposedly debunking what I believe in and considering how valid it is. So of course I consider if I could be wrong. And it's very fundamental to my epistemology that I always reserve in everything that I would say that I know to be true, that there's a possibility that I could be wrong. So that's where I stand on it. I was just asking where Chrissy stood on it because I thought, having just said what she said, she deserved to have that question put to her. There's nothing scummy about it or any of that nonsense that Adam was coming out with. Nothing creepy. It's just a question that she deserved to have put to her given what she'd just said. Thank you.
Okay, Jim, but too many
I would have to disagree with that.
Anymore. There's supposed to be an anage drop 1 mile down. It's not a coincidence.
If you wouldn't mind me saying something, I have a problem with that.
Because Jem,
still can't answer, I noticed.
you brought into the conversation you were having
didn't,
with
she
Chrissy
did.
at the very. You didn't
She
know.
talked about the people
I
she
haven't
told
even
who had
spoken
never
yet.
thought about
Who's
it. You gotta censor 'em.
who's
You gotta censor 'em.
censoring who now?
Well, because
You
you're
brought
not
into the
telling-
conversation
you're not telling
very
the
early
truth.
with Chrissy.
Jam, you just
Very
chided
early.
me for allowing it. Now you're doing the same thing.
What's
Very
going on
early.
over here, Brandon?
Go ahead, Brian.
Jem very early brought in to the conversation with Chrissy that she has to accept that she's basically stating that the whole world has been lied to and everyone is in on this big conspiracy. So straight away he was putting her in a position where she's supposed to be some kind of conspiracy nut. And then he went from there into, how do you know? You can't really trust your senses. What you think you know, you may not know. It's all doubt, 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 doubt. You might be a conspiracy nut, doubt, doubt, doubt. It's a heap of complete and utter rubbish, psychological rubbish, that people like Jem pour on people who are new into the subject. Now, Chrissy doesn't sound like she's going to listen to any of it, but other people would. And Adam is right. It is extremely scummy, because we don't need any of that. And Jem, she already thought about it. That's why she left the stupid globe belief and became a flat earther. You're the person who didn't think about it, because you're not capable of thinking about it because it scares the crap out of you. That's what's going on.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Chrissy said she believed it most of her life. So
I just need to say that I thought I didn't know about the spinning Earth. I love sci-fi, and I had a globe for years. I've done a lot of traveling, and it just never entered my head. I read the Bible 3 years ago, and it pointed to the shape of the Earth and how the Earth works and everything, and I'm like, do you know what? I feel that, but in the Bible it says to you to prove all things, because the world was saying we're a spinning ball around and the sun's the center of the universe, but the Bible's not saying that. That's why I'm here. That's how I landed up at Brandon's. Because I need to prove it.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't mind
Amen.
somebody saying they think the Earth's a ball, but when they try and say that they know for a fact that the Earth's a ball, I'm with you.
Everything I've tested myself, in my God-given senses, I'm like, no, I'm sorry, we're stable and we ain't moving, and the sun isn't the center of the universe. It's doing its job as the moon is, and and it is a big lie and deception, and we've all then researched right back to who's done what, when, where, how. God has shown us how to show us exactly who's done what and how this deception came about. We know, and that's all I can say right now is we know. We are
Well
right.
said, Chrissy. Well
Well,
said.
okay,
Brandon.
I think I understand. I think I understand the answer to my
just
question
address
now.
that, Brandon. And thanks from me.
Jem admitted
Um,
that it could be.
hold
Jem
on, what-
admitted that he
yeah.
I wanted to respond to what Brian said, though, because I mean,
please, Brandon,
go ahead,
can I
Adam.
just-
What'd you say,
just
Adam?
to address that whole statement from Chrissy there was the reason why I bothered to be such a bullshitting, arrogant twat and replicate Jem Panda's behaviour as a bullshitting, arrogant twat to protect that. What the purpose and why I come to this server is that you do encounter people like Chrissy that are on that journey with genuine stuff. And I think a lot of us old, long in the tooth folks recognise what Jem was doing there. It's disrespectful for someone on an honest journey, Jem, and shame on you for it. You shouldn't do that to people like
Shame
that.
on you
If
for
you
being
want
so
to have a
terrified that
fight
she
with
should
me,
think about
if
it.
you want to have a fight with me,
Fucking
you big
you're a
fucking twat,
pussy.
then bring
You're
it
an
on.
absolute
Then
pussy.
if you're going to take on decent people,
I'd have no
if you're
problem
going to
with
take
it.
on decent people on their
guys.
journey,
Absolutely
then
terrified.
Hey, guys.
expect
Come
you
on.
little
Hey,
chicken
guys.
people to stand up
Friday,
to bullies
Friday,
like
Friday,
yourself.
Friday.
Yeah, we only got
Because
3
your
seconds.
behaviour
Friday.
is abhorrent. You lie and you deceive.
No, I
And
don't.
as after I
Name one
first
lie.
challenged
Name
you,
one lie
look
I've
at
told.
after I first challenged you, look at the differential in how you describe the situation.
You've
how
never
you're first
challenged
behaving
me.
to your woolly fucking woke attitude.
You've
as to
never
how you
challenged
tried
me,
to
Adam.
paint yourself the second time. You scumbag. You're absolute scum, mate. And there are genuine
For
people
asking,
here
this is for
coming for
asking one
truth,
person
and they're being
one
subject
question.
to your
For
perversion.
daring
You're a
to ask.
scummer.
For
I'm
daring
done now,
to ask.
scumbag.
For
Off you
daring
go,
to ask
rant
if
all
they
you want.
question
You
their
funny
flat
mooting
earth
twat.
belief. Are you going to let me respond again, Brandon?
Yes, if you'd have listened, I'd finished there, you fundy mooting twat, but
Well,
you were talking all over me. So I'm going to return the same courtesy now.
You
Go
have done all the
ahead,
way
get
through,
ready.
Adam, because you're frightened to hear what I've got to say.
I'm not
And you-
frightened of
and
anything.
you were absolutely,
Adam, let me make a point real quick,
and
Adam.
you were absolutely
5 years,
terrified.
you absolute buffoon.
Shut
5
up,
years.
Adam.
Let me make a point real quick, man.
This is really rubbish for your audience.
Y'all, I
Right.
gotta
Really,
tell you, you
really
talked
really
through
like that.
him, Jem.
It'll
You
be
talked
hard.
through
No,
him
I
when he was.
didn't.
Yes, you
For
did.
about
Yes,
4
you
seconds
did.
on
You
the
were
end of
calling him
his
a pussy.
Statement. You
Over
liar.
and over. You go listen back.
The same
Because
treatment.
I shut up and listened to him.
No, you didn't.
Can I ask you a question, Jem? Let me ask you a question.
Go listen back,
Jem, I have a
Jem.
question for you.
I'm not answering
One question for you, Jem.
Oh, guys, there's like 10 people talking now. Come on now.
God dang, man. That sounds like crap out here.
Oh shit, what's with you guys tonight? Fuck.
To be fair,
I wanted to make a point because he was going to comment on my point. Jim was going to comment on my point.
I'll tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is I
Yeah,
dared
you've got
to suggest
no
that someone
respect
might
for people,
question
mate,
their
and that's
flat
why
earth
you put
belief.
in when they're making decent people and making decent points. And you've got
That's what
no
that's what went
respect
wrong.
for it.
And the idea that they should question their flat earth belief
and
had to
expect
be
anybody
pointed out.
Adam, this ain't that kind of fucking show, dude. To your
Jem.
comment.
All right.
Let me ask you a question, Jem. One question, please.
Hold on,
Jem,
Data.
what
Hold
is
on.
Jem? What is your best proof that the Earth is spinning? Just want your best proof, man. Just one best proof.
Like, that is got a question? You mean that is asking a question?
Without any
What's your
space
best?
corporation.
What's your best proof of the Earth
Data,
rotating,
your mic
Jem?
is, you're very close to your mic, Data.
Yeah, without using a space corporation.
I don't know.
Now, to be fair, Jem did say that he could be wrong on the shape of the Earth, right?
He didn't.
I'm good
he
with
didn't
that.
mean that. He
I'm
didn't
good with that. My point was is that
Hold on, Jem,
I'm
could
okay
you
with
be
somebody
wrong on the
saying they
shape of the
believe the Earth's concave.
Hold on, Brian.
If somebody thinks the Earth's a sphere or
Brian.
flat, I'm okay. I'm almost done.
Brian.
I'm okay with all that. But somebody say they know for sure. I'm not cool with that.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Jem, you could be wrong on the shape of Earth, right?
That's what he just said.
Did he say that? I just wanted to make sure. All right.
I
And
don't.
to be
I don't
fair,
believe you,
Jem
Jem.
does-
I don't believe you, Jem. I don't believe that you think
other-
you could be wrong.
The other day in Jem,
think
me
he
and
said
Chemo
it.
were
My
we started
epistemology-
the Discovery Channel thing. Me and Chemo were going over the National Geographic thing with the helicopter behind the curve, and Jem was one of the only Globers that said this is blatantly fake and dishonest or whatever. So I mean,
cool.
All right.
Awesome.
yeah,
That's
he's one of the only Globers that was even willing to say that. Other people, were
I don't
like,
think
oh, it's
Jim
just
is that
edited or...
that dumb.
I'll take you at face value, Jem, and believe that you think that you could possibly be wrong, even though you always accuse me of pretending.
Uh-oh.
Ask him what the chances are.
There is. I don't have any room in my epistemology for any thoughts where I couldn't be wrong. That doesn't mean I can't be like really, really, really confident, as confident as someone that would say they were 100% confident about something, maybe. But I still leave room for the philosophical chance that I could be incorrect about everything and anything.
Hang on, Jim, real quick.
You mean
real quick.
faith, right?
What about the boat too, as well, with the stripes? You can clearly see a little bit of that stripe and the
Yeah, I
horizon.
think, as I was saying yesterday, I wish these mainstream organizations would stay away from this because all they do is fuck it up and make it worse.
They did fuck
Muddy the water.
Yep. That's honest of you, Jim. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was surprised when Jem came out and said that. I mean, me and Chemo were going hard on him the other day,
Yeah.
and Jem was willing to say that they blatantly faked it. Yeah,
I'll bring
This
that
is
up.
not.
so people-
I've often said this is not an arena for astrophysicists, professional cosmologists. Whatever. This is not a place for them. I don't want those people on my. I don't want those people on my side. I want people who are experts in flat Earth bullshit like me.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I'm a flat Earth.
Well, you know what? The other
that
side of that
always
coin
goes
is,
back to
though,
the
Jem, when we all got into this, we had to learn to debunk globe bullshit too. You know that, right?
Yeah, like the geometric horizon.
I know the learning process is obviously very long. Do you have learning difficulties in this area?
Good one.
We've all been deceived, all of us, through education and visual.
Yeah.
We've all been deceived.
I used to thought I knew what dinosaurs sound like.
That's what I wanted to ask Brian, if Brian is still here, because he kind of.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Brian, the Irish one.
Oh, you talking about Brian's Logic?
Brian's Logic. I'm sorry, I get all my Brians mixed up. There's a lot of them about. But he said that I was sort of loading this idea of a lie onto Chrissy, and this seems to be a new thing in Flat Earth these days, to sort of abandon any claim that's attached to Flat Earth. But surely, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there cannot be any Flat Earthers anywhere that believe that Flat Earth, the Flat Earth lie has, well, the globe lie has been perpetrated in some way without any lies being told. How is that not? Hang on, nearly there. One more line.
Guys, let's let Chrissy respond to this. Let's let Chrissy respond.
One more line.
I want him to be more
It was
specific.
to Brian. It was to Brian, and it was, how is that not essential? That there's a big lie going on if the Earth is
Come
flat.
on, Brian. Retort coherently to that incoherent statement. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
It was just a question.
Absolutely.
It wasn't a statement. It was a question.
In early 2015, right, people, when they first came across this, because the majority of the world that now are flat earthers, they didn't, when they first came across it, it was totally brand new. And they were under the impression, rightly so, that there was massive lies being told by everybody to the world. But over time, with a bit of logic and a bit of common sense, it was shown that no, that's not the case. It's just a situation where there is a certain group of people that know and have always known, but they're in the absolute minority. The average professor in a college and all these sort of things. I'm not finished speaking. I'm not finished speaking.
Brandon, challenge him on this.
And hear the rest of it.
Continue with your misunderstanding of why I said.
Maybe if you shut the fuck up for a minute. But anyway, the thing about it is that it was very quickly, and it started in, I think by the time 2016 came around, it was pretty much established that we weren't being lied to on a grand scale. We were, but not by the majority. It was just a case of people just accepted what they were taught. And it's still the case. People just accept what they're taught. They don't know any better. That's why you can speak to a surveyor, a geodetic surveyor, and they'll measure flat, but then add curved mathematics and say it's a bowl, because that's what they think.
Right.
And it's just a case of, and I'm not finished. You asked, so I'm telling you. So it's just a case of, well, I mean, people will just do what they're told and accept what they're told. But you loading that onto Chrissy is you trying to turn her into, you're trying to give her a complex because she's some kind of a conspiracy nut. Yes, you did. You said you must be backing that there's a massive lie going on.
I didn't say what you say. I said,
you turned her into a conspiracy nut straight away.
Right, Brian. Stop. Can I respond?
You're not being honest.
Can I respond? You misunderstood what I said. What I said was that a massive lie was being perpetrated on humanity. I did not say most of humanity or lots of humanity are perpetrating the lie. I didn't say anything like that, anything that even implied the meaning of that, anything even close to the meaning of that. I said a massive lie is being perpetrated on humanity. If the Earth is flat, and we're being told it's a globe, and we've been told this for at least 500 years, that is a massive lie by anybody's standards. That is being perpetrated on humanity. Now, are there any flat earthers that do not believe in that?
Let Brandon take over with this picture, please.
Of a spinning ball from the television up, so it was not a concept that people understood or knew. People couldn't read 150 years ago. This was indoctrinated into a generation 100 years
All
ago.
Jim asked was,
you know,
could you be
and the
wrong?
lie from going to the moon was 50 years ago, and it's been a lie can only last so long if you study psychology.
All Jim asked
Yeah,
was,
let me
could
make
you
a
be
point
wrong
real
about
quick.
your...
Jim
Hold
said,
on, guys.
Right, but
Hold
you're
on,
not
hold
allowed
on a
to
second.
challenge the flat Earth religion, Jeremy. That's really, really scummy to do
Yeah,
that.
we're the ones with the
All Jim...
religion. So that's
Well,
a joke. So
Adam's
Get on it,
definitely
Brandon.
in a cult.
let me
Adam's in a cult that
Take
meet
over,
every day.
Brandon.
let me just show something to the audience. What we were speaking about earlier with the two things from, I think it was Discovery Channel or Nat Geo, one of those famous ones. There's a couple of them here. So what you see on screen right now is an inflatable kind of balloon type device that they floated out into the water, and they were going to show curvature. And what they did was they filmed this. This is what you're seeing right now. It was aired on national television and probably Netflix or whatever streaming service under the name Nat Geo or Discovery, one of those ones. And they said this showed curvature because you couldn't see this bottom red stripe here, and you couldn't see the bottom white one. Oh, well, you can clearly see the horizon, the water extend beyond the balloon, which is an absolute 100% contradiction to their claim that this is being blocked by curvature. It's clearly not being blocked by curvature, which begs the question, why would they have to? Are they that dumb that they didn't notice? Or did they have to fabricate the evidence because they couldn't find any legitimate evidence of curvature? So that'd be my question. I don't want anybody to answer it yet because I want to show the second one we were talking about, which hopefully is in this one. It's a helicopter. And I think we've showed it on this channel before.
Can I just bolt onto that one, though, just quickly, and say that, Jem, you just said a minute ago that how can this lie be being told when no actual lies have been told? Okay, so remember you just said that.
Opening the next one. That was a
The
different
helicopter one was from a different show.
Yeah. That I thought that was a different video that had them both in it, but this one is from Taboo Conspiracy's old channel, and it's actually got both of them. And I don't think you can find this on the internet anymore, but I did download a copy of it. And this one has some footage. Oh, there's his voice. Let me turn the sound off. So there is a helicopter shoot in here where if you can find Jaren's video where they completely trashed this entire series. It was supposed to be a series where they had a couple of women who were supposedly just regular citizens who were gonna go out and learn how to be scientists or something like that. I'm probably butchering it. It's been a while. They both turned out to work in some capacity within the space industry. One was, I think, was an astrophysicist, and the other one worked as a NASA, I think it was like a public relations, some type of science communicator or something like that. So they were both professionals. But anyway, they filmed this helicopter, and they said they filmed it going down and then coming up, and they claimed that this was curvature. But you will notice one thing. See those birds that are going across right there, right here? Those black birds? You'll notice something as the helicopter, there's the helicopter right there. It's kind of hard to see. It goes down. Helicopter went down. Birds go by. See the birds in the middle of the screen? Helicopter comes up. Same exact birds flying in the same exact formation, same exact timing, same exact everything. Suddenly appear again when the helicopter comes up. Isn't that amazing? So that's obviously a manipulated piece of footage of some kind. How they could get the same birds, my guess would be that they probably spliced two videos together somehow and used the same piece of footage of the foreground when the helicopter goes down and goes up and didn't notice it. I don't know. Maybe it's a Easter egg that they left in. I have no idea. But again, something put forward as evidence of curvature and evidence of the globe that turned out to be completely 100% bogus. So that's what we were talking about earlier. And I do commend you, Jem, for at least admitting that those are total bullshit.
No, or there could be two flocks of birds.
It's not two flocks of birds, dude.
No, possible.
We've broken it down.
know.
It's the same. It is the same exact birds, dude.
Yeah,
This is like the satellites going in the clouds, right?
Dude.
Maybe that's
No. Listen, this has been established 100% It's the same exact fucking birds. Not only the birds, you can look at the other details in here.
What's the name of-
100%.
What's the name of this?
Not
video?
even in question.
You
Hey,
question
Would you
the
consider
science
that
of...
lies on a grand scale? Sorry, Adam.
No. I want to know the name of the video.
Oh, this is what I'm
It's
getting to.
PBS. Where Are We? Channel 1, Circumference of the Earth, and it's the Genius series by Stephen Hawking.
Is that one by the top scientist, John? So I say
want to
top
see the
scientist. I
original,
mean WWE wrestler, John Cena.
Oh yeah, he was. He was in that, wasn't he? Yeah.
That's not John
Is he not the guiding light that shows
That
us
guy-
all this
that
scientific
guy-
information?
The women weren't flat earthers. They were scientists, and they were known scientists. The dude was the flat earther, supposed flat earther.
The guy that's got a catchphrase, "I can't see you."
That's not John Cena, man.
No, actually, wasn't one of those chick scientists pointed out as an actual actress in like multiple commercials?
I think
she might.
Yeah, the ladies are actresses, aren't they?
What is it? The dude was just the supposed flat earther. He might have been an actor too.
Yeah.
Guys,
Well, the
if
thing
I
is, you
don't
gotta
have
know,
the original
one of
video, we
the-
have nothing to discuss.
Sorry,
Right?
One of the female actors.
Chaiki.
Go
What did
ahead.
you say, Chaiki?
I said if I don't have the original video to review,
I'll put it in general.
We
I'll put it in general.
I mean,
I've just given you the full name of it. I can't believe you. Sorry, I apologize.
You never seen this before, Chaiki?
It's in general.
Oh, I have. I just forgot what was my conclusion.
Oh, okay. I bet.
I'll put the first one in as well.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, that is John
I'd
Cena.
want to forget that too.
Chaiki,
Well,
just say turn off the lights, and there you have your answer, right? Just say that, Chaiki. Turn off the lights.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the science is highly esoteric and not very easy for the public to digest. You need pretty actors and actresses and nice spokespeople to make it digestible for the population that doesn't want to hear about all of this esoteric nonsense. So that's where the actors come in, and the press release about how round the Earth is and stuff.
Yeah, I
was
get
gonna
that.
make
They
a
got to
bet-
make
I
it
was gonna make
interesting,
a-
but there's no reason for them, if curvature is supposedly everywhere, to put forward supposed evidence of curvature that they captured while out doing this.
Everywhere
and
we
it turned out to be
go.
completely fake.
CGI overlay, where does that come in terms of this? How is that demonstrating Earth curvature when we overlay a repetition of flapping birds, which is pixel by pixel, demonstrate to be the same thing previously? How was that demonstrating, or is that possibly questionable that maybe all of this is fraud to maintain the perception of a ball?
I'd love to be in the editing room
Old
when they
school
discuss
fraud.
this. So, we're gonna lay this over here. The same birds are going. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we couldn't really capture curvature like we said we were, but we know it's out there. So we're just gonna do this. It'll be easier. Wonder how they talk themselves
Oh,
into
well,
it.
Brandon, if you know the curvature is there, it's perfectly reasonable to demonstrate your point by using CGI and purporting to be reality.
So what's
go
with the
ahead.
stripes?
Perspective overlapping.
One second, Lee. Brandon, would you not say that those two videos are lies on a grand scale, considering they're the Discovery Channel and National Geographic?
Yeah, I guess you
Would that
would.
not be
And
evidence?
it was probably broadcast. Millions of people watched it, literally.
Too many.
Yeah.
My question-
So when Jem asked Chrissy, trying to give Chrissy a complex about maybe being a conspiracy nut, then it wasn't a conspiracy. It is a lie, and it does happen on a grand scale. Then, would you
My
agree?
question. Oh,
yeah.
not bad.
I got
So
two
he is
things.
a scummer then.
Yeah, I got two.
As well, but
I got two things for that. Like, when you look at National Geographic, remember that it is owned by Disney. That is a defense contractor for working for NASA.
this is
And
the
the, and the other thing, Culture, what's wrong with you, dude?
This is not National
No,
Geographic.
No, it's
no,
not.
the other one is.
PBS.
It's Discovery Channel.
PBS.
Yes, so Brandon,
PBS is the
Yeah,
main.
but the other thing too is John Cena
Sponsored
did a
by
really
government.
great job because he did an episode of Are You Smarter Than the Fifth Grader, where he asked kids about space stuff. And one of them was, if you're an astronaut, what part of the government do you work for? And they said in it, the kids knew that they'd work for the executive branch. And you'll get globalists to this day that don't even understand that NASA is government, let alone what part of the branch NASA falls under.
So there's some Globers who think that they're part of the judicious branch.
No, they think it's not even government at all. I got clips of the dude, rocket scientist, on Gen Panda server, who swore up and down that NASA had nothing to do with the government. It was only funded by
Severely
government.
doubt that. Severely.
How much do you go all in? I go all in.
But they're not part of the government.
Yeah, it was not part of the government at all. I'll post screenshots in general chat right now.
Go ahead, go for it.
No, I want to get all in. How much do you buy in? Because you severely doubted it. How much doubt do you got?
Well, I want to see the veracity of what you're saying, see if it's actually what you're claiming.
Well, okay, let's get a buy-in. Let's get a buy-in here. You want to go accounts on it?
I know it's not.
I'll go account. I'll raise you my account. I will delete my account right now if I'm wrong.
Okay, great.
Will you go account? I'll never want to see Coach Show again.
Why don't you go ahead and show it, buddy?
No, let's go. Come on. You're so sure. You severely doubt it. Let's get an all in.
Now, and you have to go ahead and show it.
This is all over
Who's
the
the
fact
judge
that
of this?
somebody was mistaken. Maybe someone was mistaken. I mean, their website is nasa.gov, so I don't think there's any.
I mean, it's obviously the part of the government, so I don't think anybody would actually claim that. Nobody who's actually knows what they're talking about. But let's see what you got, man.
I was actually trying
to get a buy-in.
I wanted to say something before. I was trying to say this a couple of times, but it's just kind of a bad joke. But I was going to say maybe that's why they call it the Discovery Channel, because we get to discover all of their lies and BS that they put in there.
Right.
Funny.
So I'm trying to figure.
Go ahead, Mr. Chair.
All right, yeah. I'm trying to figure out, since we're so advanced on technology than we were in the past, why do they have to fake this? You think they can make something that's
okay?
Let's
get a buy-in
$100
here.
grand.
Who here thinks rocket scientists?
Just go ahead and post it, man. We'll continue the conversation.
No, I want to get a buy-in. You're so sure. I need the fall.
We're continuing the conversation.
The problem, your ego is so high, you have to fall before you're ready to learn.
All right,
so how far are you willing to fall? How far? Give me a buy-in. How far? 1 week?
On, the video
1 week. How about this? 1 week, no coach show.
I did some video. I did some research in the video that we're talking about.
1 day, no coach show. How about the rest of the show? If I'll post it, the rest of the show, you log off and you'll come back. How about that?
So I did some research on the video that was posted. I looked at the.
Yeah, of course he won't go buy in now. What they'll do, they always throw shitty, but they're never willing to buy in.
Right.
Dude, are you video? You're gonna show them whatever you're trying
They
to
just
show.
want to negate what you said, Crit, right?
Shit, dude.
They're just negating you.
Yeah, that's all they do. As soon as you call them, I'm holding your feet to the fire.
See it.
I'm holding your feet to the fire. What would you buy in with?
So using a P900 to zoom into items that we
They're
know
cowards,
the original
what they are.
size
Dude,
of
they
and
got
how far we can get with them. When we zoom into the moon and see these satellites and aeroplanes, we know exactly.
Right. Looks like Crit's a liar.
No, there it is right there, you dumbass. You wouldn't even.
You guys are so
NASA is not a federal agency, you fucktard. Rocket science.
Yeah, federal agency, you dumb shit.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
It's done.
God, you're fucking stupid.
I'm sure they.
It's
I wonder
not.
how
What
much-
you're saying? It's not a federal agency.
Wasn't this show as a show, right? From a show, they probably got what?
Wait, hold on. This is a "Are you smart in a fifth grader" moment. It's not a federal agency. Is that what you're saying?
Why'd you let it go,
That doesn't
Chris?
mean it's not part of the government, dude.
Yeah. So it's not a federal agency. What is it?
It's part of the government. I don't know what.
Yeah, you're fucking retarded, dude. You're so retarded. You don't even know
You
how
understand,
retarded
you
you are.
understand what a federal agency is, right?
No, you don't. You have no clue what's going on here. This is a guy who claims to be a
Well, what are we
rocket
arguing
scientist.
about? Could someone please tell me what the fuck they're arguing about?
Yeah, he's claiming that somebody
government agency or
claiming somebody
whatever.
that NASA was part of the government. Then he posts this thing.
It's got a .gov
Hold on,
name.
guys.
It's a
Hold
federal
on,
agency.
hold on,
What's
hold
the
on.
problem?
Kosho and Crit, what are you guys arguing about?
Yeah, Kosho was saying that he highly doubted rocket scientists ever said that NASA was not part of the government or federal agency.
No. I didn't say
Nothing to
or
do with it.
anything. I didn't say or anything.
Yeah.
You said part of the government. That's what you said, Crit. This is what I said. I doubt severely
Yeah,
that he said that.
That's what he said. It was not even part of the government. It was just funded by government.
which is funded by you guys.
He eventually admitted he was wrong, which is a great part. He said, "You know what, Crit, you got me. Okay, I was wrong. They're clearly part of the government." I said, "That's not the point. The point was that you went complete egg shit. You went complete bullshit on me as I was just trying to explain to you one simple thing about NASA."
When did I go bullshit on you?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. You're like, "Oh, like Crit doesn't know this and he doesn't know that." You don't know this stuff. That's the issue.
Who doesn't
You
know
don't
this
know.
by now?
Dude, first of all, I know that NASA's part of the government.
You just said it wasn't
Forever.
part of
Never said
the
it wasn't part of the government.
You
can
just
lie about
said
me like
right
you lie
now
about
it
everybody
wasn't
else.
part of your agency.
Everybody here knows I didn't say that.
You just said
I
it right now.
I said to really doubt somebody in GEMS said that it wasn't part of the government.
Yeah, you can get people. You could go to GEMS right now and get people saying it's not part of the government. They'll double down.
I've
on
heard
it.
you guys say that in here too. To be honest with you,
What's that?
That NASA's
What's
not
that
part of the
about?
government.
Yeah, they are dumber than
Really?
a fifth grader.
They say that? Wait,
yeah.
callers still say that? You guys still say that?
Well, I think they say that because I mean, the way they claim it is that it's an independent agency of the U.S. federal government. They technically call it a space agency. So
It's a
I don't
branch.
think it's not a federal agency. It's an independent agency and a
Still
space
branch
agency
of it though.
No,
of the
independent.
US
Yeah, constitutionally independent agencies are part of the executive branch.
Yeah, of course, it's part of the executive branch. They get appointed by the federal government. They have people who work. The
I
people
was
who work
trying
there
to
have
figure out what you guys were on and about.
So they are a federal agency then.
I think
nobody's claiming it's not government.
this is people trying to mince words again, like you guys are famous for. Everybody all in here wants to just mince words.
Fuck
and
that.
it.
I must have heard that at least a dozen
NASA,
times.
we should have asked him first.
I must have heard that at
Okay.
least a dozen times that NASA's not part of the government in my
Define the government.
on my way to where we are right now.
Paid NASA shill, tell us that right now. Hey, paid NASA shill. Is NASA part of the government?
Governmentus.
Yeah, NASA's part of the government. Duh.
Okay, there
Here's
we go.
new
Yeah, I
black
was about
hack
to say,
saying
I-
it's not
It's
part of the
not,
government either.
not good.
Hey,
It's not
NASA,
legal.
Brandon.
What's
Hey,
on
NASA,
NASA?
Jack,
Come
one
on.
simple question. One simple question for you. What is your best proof of a rotating Earth? Paid NASA.
What's your best proof that the Earth is flat, Data? I'd
Oh,
like that
God.
first.
He'll never
Oh
answer. a
wow,
question.
that's
There's no
pointless. What's
curve.
this about right here, though, Brandon?
No, I'll tell you. You
Just
want
use that
how about
answer.
you can do it yourself. Just do the focal pendulum. There you go.
The
Yeah, I see.
focal pendulum, out of all the scientific evidence of the
Okay,
world,
the easiest one for you to verify.
the best
The
evidence
easiest
you
one for you to
have,
verify.
the best
But
proof
Travis
you
didn't
have is a
You can
pendulum.
go borrow Bob's Bob Noodle's gyroscope and prove it to yourself.
So that's the best
That
proof.
doesn't prove it. Stop that nonsense.
A focal pendulum is the best
It
proof.
did prove it,
correct?
by the way, actually.
Yeah,
Do you have
everyone
any-
that
well.
builds anything
Is
on
that the
Earth
only proof that you have? What
No, it's not the only proof, but it's the easiest one for you to verify data. But you won't do an
What other
experiment because
proof?
you want to get your
What
hands
other
dirty.
proof? Okay, so you said a
So
focal
it's your turn
pendulum.
now. It's your turn now. What is your proof that the Earth is flat, other than it looks flat?
There's no physical
Why
curvature.
do we have to do anything? Why are you going to data or anybody
that.
in there
Best
trying
proof
to show
is the
me
geometric
scientific
horizon.
proof for doing
you
anything?
just
Why?
saw it there,
You
Paid
cannot.
NASA shill.
Shouldn't NASA?
You just
Shouldn't
saw it.
NASA, who gives you this information, provide you this information? Why are you asking us to provide it for you? You should
Oh, I
already
do
know
know it,
this.
but you guys
and
want.
You should have this.
I mean, I actually don't know
You
that
don't
the Earth
have
is flat. I want you to show me your best
you
evidence the
have
Earth is flat, other than
Paid
it
NASA
looks
shill.
flat.
We're not here
Did
to
That
you
will
just
need
do this
something
flat. We're
to
here to
look
show you
flat.
that
Did you
it's both
just
that we've
literally
been
just
told
ask
they
why
lie.
the flag was hidden? Was that you?
What? No, I didn't ask that.
Did you understand why the flag was hidden then?
What flag? You mean the stripe flag?
Yeah. This
Yeah,
one here.
because you were going over the curve. Thank you.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. What?
Now,
Can't
can we
read your
explore
fucking
that?
lower curve.
Can we explore that? Can you put that picture up, please, Brandon?
The best proof
right there.
of flat Earth
Can you
is
pause that?
every.
If that's
Can you
going
pause that
over
right
the
there?
curve, why is the water in the background higher from your
Okay, yup.
perspective?
And as well, why is waves blocking partial of the line?
There's a
I thought
hint
it was
on
like
screen. Paid
one-
NASA shill.
Well, I'm not watching
But
it.
isn't the best part of it proving flat Earth is actually proving that the globe itself is a lie and there's no
Stick
proof
on
of
this,
curvature?
though, 'cause you'll
That
get
in
out of it.
itself proves that it's exactly what they say it's not. It's. I mean, come on here. We're talking about it's a lie.
I can't
They've
believe
lied to
they're
us,
still
giving you
Globers.
no evidence, and the evidence that they provide you is so ridiculous that we're gonna fall into that. No, I
Right.
don't need to prove to you the Earth is flat. I'm not telling you the Earth is flat at this point. You can say and think what you want, but it sure in the hell isn't the geometry and there's no curvature that you fucking guys claim.
You want proof of curvature? Here we go. I'll show you
agree.
proof of curvature.
No, wait. You haven't answered this. You've let him go.
Yeah, hold on.
You
let him go.
Hold on, I'm going to show you proof
Paid
of
NASA
curvature.
show.
She says there's no proof of curvature.
Answer Gleam's question. Hold on, Stacy. Answer Gleam's question, then we'll let.
I don't know. I haven't looked into that very much. I don't know. What
well, you can see it on screen. You don't have to look it up.
It's very easy to see.
Well, I know I have to look it from the original because I don't trust you guys not doctoring shit.
You heard Jem earlier say that.
That is amazing.
He thought it was fake, right?
Taking the old, it's fake.
No, I did not hear that actually. But if Jem thinks it could well be. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, it appears to be flat by inference because all we're getting are flat photos whose only curvature is from the lens. Now, the only thing
no,
the
it's
has is
incorrect.
that
Yeah, you
a
know
picture
that.
from NASA that appears to be very globular, but you have to trust NASA for that and trust that they didn't pull one over on us. So until we have a whole picture of the flat surface, unless the
well, you do have a picture. You want a picture of the flat
that,
surface?
I
Come
guess
on,
it
pull
won't
it
be
up.
proof for the Globers. So
Let's see
it
it,
is what
Paige.
it
I
is.
want to see what you got. I want to see what
Here you
got.
go.
You know, Paige,
Right.
if you actually listen more, you honestly might get it. But you are
I don't
always
get. No, I'm
over-talking
not going to get it from you
people.
guys. Trust me on this.
Where's it
This
at,
is what
Paige?
you do. You talk over people. You don't actually absorb the information because you don't want to. That's your
Look
fault.
who's talking. Look who's fucking
Well, he's a
talking.
paid NASA
Oh,
show.
honey,
All right,
I've listened
let's
to you
let's
guys
get
go
onto
on
his
and on
photo. He
for
says he's got
hours.
something. I want to see it. Let's see what he's got.
You've seen it before. You're going to see it again.
Come on, let's
He's
go.
gonna show us that
Okay,
fucking
tell me.
picture, man.
Yep.
I swear to God, I'm gonna
Blue
barf on my computer if he shows us that
You know
fucking
what
picture.
I'm going to show you, aren't you? You know what
We can dismiss it.
You got the
We
blue
can
marble
dismiss
for
it.
it?
Anyone
No,
who
you can't
dismisses
dismiss
this.
it.
Yeah, we
You
can
dismiss
because
it.
you
Tell me
just
how you
dismissed
dismiss
this
it.
photo.
You're going to hand wave it away like normal?
Like
You're
what you just
hand-waving
did with
away
this one on
everything
the
you
screen.
They've already admitted
My answer to that is I
Like
haven't
what you
seen that
just
picture
did.
before today, so I don't know.
They've already admitted that they've already admitted that they doctored the last bloom.
So PBS could have just used this picture then. They didn't have to fake it.
I don't know.
Well, the
Good
main
answer.
problem
See,
is
that's
the
probably a
curvature
question
lens.
you should ask yourself, maybe.
Paid NASA show. PBS said this is proof of a curvature, and then they broadcast it to millions of people.
Yep.
Lies.
Why'd they
Lies.
do that?
That's crazy.
And that they presented to me.
Well, the thing is, the Globers infer that there has to be curvature in the way blocking the object, but they don't understand how perspective can cut an object off early and make it appear to set. They need to study up on perspective and how it works over a flat plane, like looking down a hallway.
But
And they
Lemon,
lied about
Lemon,
Why
why
would
would
the sun
they
go down below the
why
eye
would they,
level then?
Oh my God. But
Why would
Lemon,
something go from above eye level to below eye level?
Are you
Because the
kidding?
first angle of minimum of light reaches the object to its maximum distance, which is the angle below
no, you
the
don't know.
center. Below the center of your eye will always have the maximum angle reach.
No, it's because of
Maximum
standard
point
refraction.
is
Above the
the
eye line,
angle
so below
above.
the eye line?
That's why you have objects
Data.
appear to move downward over into the horizon line.
It's
because the
standard
bottom
I thought you were
angle
going to
of
show
your
me the
eye
fake
has
Fresnel
reached
lens
the
thing again.
maximum angle point.
Data.
Hold on, Data, hold on.
That's worse than your Fresnel lens
Hey, you ain't heard our model yet?
You see,
Our model is
I gotta
for
find
standard
it.
refraction.
I don't keep
May I
it.
say-
Hold on.
Guys,
may I say
Guys,
something?
Hold on,
one
Data,
at a
listen.
time, guys.
I don't keep
Nice.
it.
slow down.
It's harder
Hey,
to listen
hey,
to.
our standard
may I say
refraction
something?
for our flat Earth model is 5 inches per mile squared upward refraction.
Brian, hold
No,
on.
may I
Data
say
was
something?
having a
We're
back
talking
and
to
forth
me.
with Paid NASA show. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you see how he doesn't care about the answer. He asked him a question to Data. Data start giving the answer, and he start interrupting.
No, I know Data's answer.
Let me
I
know.
really do. I know Data's answer.
Why would you ask him the question then?
Just to see if he'd change his answer, but no, he comes up with the same old shit.
How would you know if he hold on? How would you know if he changed the answer if you didn't?
Because he
let
never
him
changes
finish?
his answer. He never says
Then
anything
why would
new,
you?
neither does
Then why
Lemon.
would you ask him? Then why would you ask him?
Oh, just to hear him flap, it's funny.
There you go.
I'm sorry, you didn't hear anything. He said, I think he's going to change his answer. I wanted to hear it, right? He wanted to hear what he had to say, but then he also says, oh, he's going to say the same answer, so I don't want to listen to him. So
He's
you're
making this
literally
shit up
being
as he goes.
ridiculous.
I'm making this shit up as I go. That's
You're
funny.
making this shit up
Coming
as you
from
go,
guys-
huh?
Right.
Coming from people who make shit up as they go, that's really funny.
Hey, Paige,
The
real
thing
quick.
is, you're assuming that it's going below something, but you can't see through the ground. So yet again,
Actually,
you're
it
making
is going
another
below
incorrect
something.
inference
I don't
based
care. We
off
can
of
see.
limited data and a poor understanding of perspective.
Of course
So
you
your
don't care about
inferences are invalid. I'm sorry.
No, no.
It's flat.
You
and
know
everything
nothing
cut off
about
due to
either perspective nor vision nor
See,
optics.
here's the problem, Paige. Paige, here's the problem. problem. You think that I need the 500 nanometers and 5 centimeter,
You
0.5
do.
centimeter. I don't.
Your whole thing
I can-
falls
I
apart.
can
if you
do-
use
I can do it
750
with-
nanometers.
I can do it with other wavelengths of light and different
No, you
aperture
can't
sizes.
because you divide by 500. Plus, your units are all
Don't.
fucked
You
up.
can use seven-
Your
you
units
can
do
use
not
seven-
equal one another.
No,
Your
what?
units do
Again,
not equal
taking
one
away
another. You
the-
idiot.
Be quiet for a second. Be quiet and listen. You don't need to have 500 nanometers to calculate the apparent circumference or size. The point is the wavelength of light, the size of aperture is a fact where the angle becomes too acute to resolve. That happens to be at the bottom portion of our eye at a faster rate than the top portions because there's no angles at the top portion as narrow, as acute as the bottom portion. That's why we have the horizon line first. That is the first angle of light that's going to be reached its maximum. Now I can derive the apparent circumference or diameter from using the wavelength of light, and I do not need 500 nanometers to do it or 0.5 centimeters to do it for the size of the eye. Now, if you're taking at the other example I laid the other day with the 1 divided by 7,918 miles, giving you a units value of 0.000126 miles, I can times that by 69 miles to get the degree, which ends up to be 0.008 anyway, which I can derive from using the Rayleigh criterion, the same angular degree. That's not happenstance. That's based on optics and the angle of light to our eye. That's what you're forgetting here, is that you can actually show the math using the Rayleigh criterion.
All right, I apologize for cutting date off, but I have to read these super chats. Mr. Gadget, $2. Why am I muted? No free speech? I noticed you were muted, and I unmuted you after that. I apologize for that. Must have been a crazy night or something. Dan the Waterman, $5. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to you, Dan. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. I'm checking out this infrared video that you sent, but I'm gonna have to listen to the sound after the show in order to understand it, I think. Earth is life. I think that's B-Ball. Got a new name. Cool. Gleam, the non-flat earther, flat earther. Believe he claims to be a Mac earther, but yeah, it confuses me too sometimes. But thanks. Appreciate that, man.
On. You don't have that, and that's your problem.
Yeah, the Becker theorem. I want that.
I do have that. I did it a month ago during the during this
You're measuring
when the sun
shadows.
was over the equator.
Page.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's all you're
partial
seeing.
doubling down that
That's just
NASA
a
isn't part of the
measurement.
government.
I've been looking at footage from using infrared. People are using infrared, yeah, which at night or whenever, and it gets rid of all the refraction, whatever, and they can see miles. And I don't quite get where this argument is, because this is what I can see this, and I don't get where Penis is what he's talking about. We can
Well, the
see
thing is-
much further than the model that they give us. Do you know what I
they
mean?
assume that there's
Everything
a
else
hump
he
of
talks about
Earth.
went right over my head.
Well,
The
they
common
assume that
man
there's a hump of
wouldn't
Earth.
understand that, but they'll understand what they can see.
Yeah,
Well, they assume that there's a hump of Earth curve.
You decrease refraction, but you increase diffraction.
No.
Well, the
No,
thing
no,
is,
no.
you
No.
assume that a hump of
No.
Earth curvature is in the way.
What?
So refraction is just light moving from medium to medium, from like water to air, or different layers of air. Diffraction is when light splashes through an opening or bends around an obstacle or enters the eye, basically, or an aperture, like the camera. So basically, we need to look how the eye forms the image and how you're having a flat horizon form where the sky and the ground appear to smash together and ramp toward each other.
Smashed together. That's scientific terminology.
Hey,
Smush, smash, and get crushed. Absolutely.
PNS, when I asked you, PNS, I asked you a while back if you could show me anywhere in reality of a stationary sun.
Stationary relative to what?
Well, that's what you said. You said relative to what? So now I've given you some time to think about it. Relative to you, have you ever seen any stationary sun in your life? Relative to you.
That's because we moved together. It's just the sun and the Earth moved together. So no. So what's the
So
problem?
you've never seen a stationary sun in reality then?
What are you trying to get at? What's your angle?
I don't care
What's your
what it
fucking
is.
angle? Come on, you have an angle. You always ask
buddy.
leading questions with an angle. What's your angle?
Calm down, dude. I just wanted to see if
You have
you've
a
ever
fucking
seen.
angle. Don't lie to me.
It's
You
an
never
acute
talk about
angle.
an angle.
It's an acute angle.
See, that's the problem. He doesn't want to communicate. He's already
doesn't,
thinking on
yeah.
the defensive. He's not trying to
Yeah,
learn
because
anything.
Data never
you've
says
never-
anything that he
You're
doesn't,
not here
that he
to try to
doesn't have
learn
an angle, that he
anything.
doesn't have an angle with. Because
Let
You guys
data
are
teach
here to
you.
try to teach people. That's
Penis,
not
Exactly.
what
I'm
we're
not trying to teach people.
So
Bullshit.
penis, that's
Let
a
data
no,
I
right?
want to hear what Data had to say, but you keep fucking cutting in.
Well, you guys, okay, I'll tell you what, you can
And
listen
it's
to what
so
Data has
annoying.
to say. Fine, go ahead.
Well,
Listen,
So-
listen to
I'm
his
sure more
bullshit.
people
Fill
want
your
to
mind
as
with
well,
his
not
shit all
just
day.
you.
So penis, I
And,
asked
but you know what? That's
I
you.
asked you
Oh,
in
shut up.
April.
He left. He left.
Okay.
We
He
win.
gives me a
Dave,
fucking
We
you know
win.
headache.
Run away. That's
actually
right.
get
Run
what
away
Dave
like the
said.
little scared glober you are.
It's fucked up, bro. He does give me a headache though, that fucking guy.
Doesn't he?
Jesus.
I wanted to ask him, does the geometric horizon shift? Does it go from one place to another?
Of course it does.
According to
What does
their
that even
theory, yeah,
mean?
it can refract up and down. But if
How do
it's
they got
a horizon, if it's a horizon from the ceiling and the floor smashing together,
Yeah,
it
you
will
failed.
always be at a certain plane of vision at the level of the eyes. It'll just move further out or forward or closer in, to the observer, but it'll still always be on the same plane. So
I mean,
that-
the
You never
smushing,
answered-
hold on, Data. The smushing, smashing, and crushing thing Lemon's talking about,
Mm-hmm.
their own boy Soundly showed us this with his hotel rooms. Like, Lemon didn't make this shit up. That shit
Right.
happens, and Soundly showed
Yes,
it
it
to us.
does.
Soundly showed it to us. Their golden boy of Earth Curve. So I don't know why
So
they
the
would
thing
even
is-
try to deny it.
Well, yeah, if you want to find
They
Earth
just don't
Curve, you
wanna
got to go to
interpret
this one bridge in the southern United States, and you can find it.
Well, it has swamp
Yeah,
gas
nowhere else.
refraction galore because
You want
hot and cold air layers are combining like crazy down there, giving you weird effects as you're looking through this air layer and this air layer, giving you all sorts of weird curvature effects. They didn't even check for refraction with their poster boy photo and stuff. And then they cry refraction every other time. It's just ad hoc. And if they're going to cry refraction, then so can we.
Well said. Yeah, absolutely.
But
Hey,
isn't
Brandon,
most
check
of
out
the
this photo
done
right here.
in an area
Check
where
out
there is less refraction? And that's the point. No matter what we do, these people are going to have some excuse for the BS because they are not here to actually learn. They're not here to listen to us. They want to sit here and derail. And I
I'll
want
tell
to
you what
actually
we
hear what you guys have to say.
I'll tell you what we could do where they couldn't.
You
don't understand science.
Brandon,
You
check
deny
out that.
fucking
Hang on,
A.
Rumpus.
One headache to another.
What?
Oh,
Hang on.
God.
Here
So
comes the other one. Here
our
comes the
rail
other one.
track. Our rail tracks.
Stacy, hold on. Let me respond to Stacy real quick. There is one thing we could do that they couldn't deny, and it's the geocentric circles with the subsolar point. That's all. Go ahead, Don. My bad.
So our
You're
our railroad tracks, they call them sleepers in between. All that stuff. Are they usually straight?
Straight.
Railroad tracks are usually
Straight.
straight.
Do you mean straight as in
Level,
not at an
straight.
angle or perpendicular? Or
Not. Yeah.
not curving.
Just straight.
Straight.
Not
Yes.
curving.
They're, no, not always. Actually, no.
Well, they turn a little left and right. Yeah, but look at if you see here. Look at the refraction. Look what it does to that. Looks appears.
Oh yeah,
curved right
yeah,
there.
you're right. That does look like, kind of like the effect we see in the bridge. Actually, that curve right
The
there.
problem is, though, no matter what refraction they claim, and they can't claim refraction in the first place, but even if you want to give them refraction, they can't actually prove it in reality. The stuff that we're seeing way too far can only be shown in a simulation and a computer. I don't live in a fucking computer. Nobody in here does. We all might be on a computer right now or some, device, but in reality, that doesn't exist. You don't see that light bending in that manner. So when you want actual measurement of the curvature, what we're standing on, you'll never find it. Never find that.
I agree.
3 marks.
But look, there's a picture of curvature right now. These railroad
right
tracks
there.
are going over the curve of the Earth.
Don't start with me.
Come on, guys.
Their refraction is mathematical only. There is no globe refraction. It's only mathematics. There's no actual real world 7/6R. We ever see everything flat, so they have to account for that. So mathematically, they account for that by adding in 7/6R, which is based on a radius, which is based on a geometric horizon that doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, they reverse engineered what we
theorem.
saw. They reverse engineered an optical phenomenon. Just called it Earth curve.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the thing
Very
is, you need
simple.
the light to travel through a stable air layer. And if it's really hot with refractive effects, you're not going to see as far as you normally do. A horizon will still form toward the level of the eyes, which you're going to see a little further and a little closer depending on the temperature, depending on the weather conditions. Different things are going to make the air layer more or less stable, so you can form an image closer or further away. So the horizon will still be there. It'll just have objects that appear to merge or disappear out of the horizon at a different rate.
Hey, speaking of a reverse engineer, did anyone catch Witz's last debate?
No, who was it again?
No. Huey did send me a DM of it.
Oh yeah, dude, you gotta check it out because if Adam Meekin's still here, they discovered the guy that he was debating was being fed information, and they someone turned up the volume, and you could hear him giving them the answers and shit. It's all on
Who did
QE's
he
last
debate?
video.
Who was getting fed?
I think his name's Septic Tank or Septic Dank or something.
King Skeptic.
Dank.
Yeah.
No,
Septic
no,
Tank.
Dank. Septic Dank.
No, Septic Dank.
Yeah, he's a newbie. He's a newbie.
Oh, I thought you were
If
talking about Team Skeptic.
No,
Yeah.
it's not Team Skeptic. It's
Dude,
a newbie.
Witzit slaughtered him. Slaughtered. Like, worse than... Dude, bad.
Oh, Witzit's the fucking man, bro. No question. He'll fucking run
No,
circles
but
around these Globers.
I've seen Witzit debate. I mean, he just bulldozed this guy so bad that MC Toon, who was just supposed to moderate, had to literally debate on his behalf.
That's hilarious.
Sweet.
What channel was it on?
I'm going to watch that. Whose channel was it on?
It was on MC
Mike
Tunes, and then but if Adam's still here, he could probably tell you about the clips that the guy being fed.
It was horrible, dude. I watched the whole thing.
Oh, here it is.
Hey,
Skeptic
I remember
Dank
hearing
and
it, too.
Witzit gets it.
Listen,
Bro,
Witzit agreed to debate the guy.
That NASA isn't the government.
I never said that once. Dude,
What is it?
dude, you fucking
Say it.
old ass fucking dumbass.
Yeah, you are so dumb. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Guys, why are we talking about this again?
He's in the chat posting all this stuff saying independent agencies aren't the government.
Oh, get
Dude,
real.
what is wrong with
So,
you, dude?
why the fuck do you want to define NASA? Why do you want to
He didn't say
define
that
NASA as not part of the government? Why is that important to you guys? I don't
Nobody's
understand.
even claiming that. No one's claimed that once. That's his fucking. He's this deluded old fuck. Won't get the fuck off the bullshit, dude. Nobody wants to claim.
Let's get back.
Triggered.
Witzit agreed to debate the guy, right? As long as the moderator did not jump in, and he did actually. Witzit ended up debating both of them for a long
Witzit
period of time.
will kill both of them and someone else all at the same time. He's sick.
Yeah, but he was getting fed information, yo. The dude
Yeah,
that
this
he was
ain't
debating.
it. This is not the arena where you think you're going to win by getting fed information. You're almost definitely going to lose using that strategy.
Somebody did
So-
that back on in the day. I remember Nathan
think it
and
was
Tony and those
Hawkins.
guys making a big deal out of it. You guys remember that?
Was it Sean Hawkins
I don't think so.
or Hufford? I don't know.
Might have been
No, it
Hufford.
was Geo Streber and all them lot. It was Geo Streber. You're
Oh,
right,
that's
Brandon.
right.
I was around in them days.
That's
Geo
right.
Streber, yeah.
When I first got in here, I went on GeoStreamers and debated those guys, and it was my first debate ever. And I got Geo to kick Rumpus off the stream.
Fuck that, Rumpus. You're a menace.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Some things never change.
Yeah.
Apart from you've now got your own kick button.
Yeah, no, I could kick.
I would anticipate MC Tune if that were true and that actually happened, which it very well could have. I would imagine MC Tune would probably do a follow-up, video and probably disassociating himself from that,
I just find it
yeah,
funny that
I'm assuming because this just came out like a couple hours right before the show. All that.
Witzit's the fucking man, bro. I heard him in Gems countless hours. He kills them all the time,
Yeah.
and it's a
Yeah, they constantly have to mute them and kick them because they have nothing they can do to counter them. Just completely take over.
He won't shut up, man. He talks nonstop.
Dude, that
Right.
guy runs
Dude,
circles
I
around you guys.
right now to come up with any one of his most relevant and complete.
Culture, you can't even make a sentence here. You tell this guy can't shut up.
Because I mean, it's so.
Dude, you got so much brain damage. You don't even know what government is.
Stuff that he says. I want to see if you come up with
Yeah,
anything
Culture,
that
you got so much brain damage from drug use. You don't even know what a sentence is.
I'll name one, Kosho. I'll name one in that debate right there. He says about measurement versus calculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other guy does not understand anything. Put it this way: if I ask you, is there a difference between directly measuring something and calculating the measurement of something? Is there a difference, or are they identical?
Every measurement is going to include a calculation.
I knew he was going to fucking
You're
weasel.
so retarded.
Go ahead and describe a measurement that's
You're
not.
so retarded, Kosho. You're so
Describe
retarded.
a
You think
measurement
you're
that does not
smart.
include calculation.
If I put
So
a
if I
tape
put a
measure up to
ruler
a
on
2x4,
something.
all right. If I put a
Anyway,
tape measure up, to a 2x4, and I just look at the number, it says 8 feet. What did I have to calculate something or use a formula or anything? I did. What I have to calculate?
You had to compare the.
He's talking about the
units. Compare that you measured 8 of them.
Oh my
God!
No,
I'm just reading a number. I'm just reading a number on the tape measure. I'm not doing any calculations or anything. I'm just reading a number.
Yeah, that's calculating 8 feet. 8 of those feet.
I'm just reading the number off of the tape measure. I'm not doing any math.
The units are predefined.
That's Kosho. Come on, that's not calculating, bro. What is wrong with you?
Wait.
Yeah, you have to.
I even look, bro.
You just don't understand, do you?
English is my second language, and English is my second language, and I even understand the difference between calculating something and measuring something.
That's fine, man.
Those are
all
two different fucking things, buddy. Calculating is just giving the like more or less calculating what it is.
Like a measurement of the geometric horizon, right, Kosho?
All measurements include calculations.
Oh,
absolutely ridiculous.
Really?
I
just wait, Kosho.
A calculation could
measurements or amounts.
validate a measurement, but a measurement would never calculate a validation.
So you're measuring
would
the
never validate a
geometric
calculation.
Kosho?
Measurements are empirical.
Measurement is
The physical
I want to ask
That's a totally irrelevant question. This one. But
it's not
if
really.
you're making a measurement, you're taking like a ruler or anything like that. You're putting together 1 inch or 1 foot or whatever it is, and you're putting those side by side to get however many of those that you're measuring the distance of. So if you have 8 inches, you measure that. There's one metric that you have.
Those are units.
Yeah, there's 8 of them. Yeah, exactly. So you have to
Kosho,
separate words.
Let me ask you this. Let's say I'm gonna sell you some gold, right? And I give you the gold, and you say, how much is this? And I'm gonna say, well, I'll calculate it's around 1 gram or 2 grams or whatever. Will you pay me like that, or will you say, no, I want you to measure it, scale it?
No,
Which one will
I
you
don't know
do?
why you're asking that. Exactly. If you're measuring something and it weighs like 30 grams.
No. Listen to the question, bro.
You know this weighs 30 of those.
Kosho, listen to the question. The calculation, I haven't measured it yet. It's just a calculation.
Yeah, I never said calculations or measurements. I said that measurements include calculations.
Not always.
I'm trying to understand the distinction between that. A measurement.
This is why he doesn't understand what
So they're
government-
different,
calculations
but
are-
we just need 10 minutes.
Bottom
to
line, there is
explain
a
why.
distinction.
But what is the
The
point?
thing is, the
point is,
is
the
that
formula,
don't need
they were the same thing.
validation.
Guys, one at a
Measurement
time.
doesn't need validation. Calculation needs to be validated. Measurement doesn't.
A measurement doesn't need to be.
A measurement
calculated.
doesn't need
Look at the tape
validation because
measure.
it's already
I look at the tape
validated, right?
measure.
Sorry,
Hey,
Jeremy.
Hey, I was talking.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Hold on.
Yeah, I
Okay.
apologize.
You look at a tape measure, right? And I read 8 feet. I didn't need to do any calculations. All I did was look at the number on the tape measure and say, okay, we got 8 feet here. Boom.
Yeah, the only
And
reason why you're saying
it's
that it's
100%
8 feet is because-
correct. It's validated. It's a first-hand empirical data point.
Yeah, but you have to make a calculation to
No,
determine
you don't.
what is
You
the
don't have to
distance.
calculate
No, you
shit.
don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Come on, bro.
The 8 means that there's 8 of these units.
Who cares? That's
That's
all
not a calculation. That's
Yes,
superfluous.
it is.
That's a statement of fact. There's no
Yeah.
calculation on it.
That is a
Come on,
calculation.
Kosho.
You calculate what the size of one of these units
How
is.
can you be
calculate
so
how much 8
wrong
of
on this?
He's trolling
They-
us.
They can't give. They can't
It's
give
amazing.
up anything.
I
Anything.
mean, this
They're so
is a
close
question you guys asked, and you guys are
You're trolling us. Stop.
Upset 'cause
Dude,
we can't
the
prove
point
anything.
is-
That's what the answer is, man.
Yeah,
You're
well, you
trolling.
should have
Okay,
heard
but the
Kosho
question-
explain why you can't measure the geometric horizon.
That's a totally different subject, man.
Kosho's a poet.
No, it's not.
But the
You
thing
can't have a
is, there's
tangent
nothing
point to it.
physical there.
No tangent
There's
point.
nothing
This is
physical
what
there.
conversations get incoherent in here, man. It's because
What do you mean, Kosho?
Yeah,
Explain
because
it.
you fucking muddy the water like an asshole.
No, I answered the
You
question.
don't even know what
Plain and
government
simple.
is. What do you think?
Dude,
we're
you
like-
just admit
Guys.
That's what you're doing when you're measuring something.
Kosho's
You're
so
comparing-
dumb.
just
comparing
admit there's a
units,
difference.
and You're comparing your calculating how many units those are.
Guys, I think we found
Sorry,
where their misunderstanding is. I think we found it.
Could-
If they think measuring is calculating, that's a pretty bad.
Measuring has a
Yeah.
physical operation that can be
So,
attested
Kosho,
to.
5 feet, right? Observe the geometric horizon's 3 miles away. Is that where we should begin to see drop?
Are we moving on from the last subject already?
No, this is not a fucking calculation. I'm just reading the tape measure. Okay, I'm not making any
Yeah, because
calculations.
you're not getting it though. Just because somebody else put the units on there doesn't mean they're not on there. You're measuring that there's 8 of those units, so you know what 1 inch is.
But what if none of the
Just
units
like
were marked
NASA
off
has a
and just
.gov
8 was marked?
website doesn't mean it's not government, right? The same logic, Kosho. You're so dumb, dude.
Dude, who in here said that the NASA was not government, man?
You did earlier.
Nobody
Man,
wants to.
you guys are still on
I'll
this?
give you $1,000 right now if somebody else in here will substantiate that.
You
I just
need
play it,
to
but
go
they will
read the
substantiate
definition.
That NASA's not the government.
You need to go read the definition, Kosho, of this of calculation.
Well, I
You
think
really
it
need
went
to go.
into a nitpicky thing about what is a federal agency and what isn't a federal agency. A federal agency is one that the states are a part of. While they're part of it, though, they maintain their independence from the federal agency. There'll be a federal agency like FEMA that gives out assistance to the various states while the states remain independent. NASA would not fall under that because NASA is a separate agency that is not federal. It's government, sure, but it isn't federal because it's not part of the independent 50 states. It's not doling out support to them. It's not helping them out, and it's not answerable to them. It appears to be a different entity under the military arm of the government that appears to be, government, but not necessarily, like a federal agency. Maybe it's
No, I'm
part
not-
of the government, sure,
DOD.
but it's not a federal agency.
No, I'm not saying
Come
kosher
from
didn't say this, but I have been
It's
told
not a
multiple
federal. It's an
times.
independent agency.
I have been told multiple times by Globers over the years that NASA isn't a government agency. I'm not
It's an
saying Kosho
independent-
said it.
It's an independent agency of the government, man.
Oh
It's
my!
not a federal agency
That's
you're claiming, and it's
in
not-
the
and
same
you're saying it's not the
sentence.
government.
That's a contradiction in the same sentence.
Operation
It's
Paperclip.
independent, meaning it's not accountable to the federal government, right? There are certain, connections towards each, the federal government and an independent agency. But I'd also like to say that the IRS is also an independent agency.
Yeah.
in the government.
CIA. Yeah, there's like
It sounds like
300
they
of them.
set it up. Yeah,
CIA
NASA's set
is
up
also
so that they set it up that way so they can throw it under the bus once people find out.
They just made it
NASA.
appear that way.
Well, no,
Exactly.
look,
To shed
Yeah,
light
but it's
on-
all
Wait,
executive
here.
branch.
He's claiming that somebody's claiming it's not government. Nobody's claiming
Yeah,
it.
it's
You're
not government
exactly
at all.
right, Gio. To shed liability, exactly. Once the people figure it out, like, whoa, it's independent. Yeah. It's
Right.
It's not independent. It's a different classification from a federal agency. But regardless of that, nobody here, nobody in GEMS claimed it was not part of the government. Nobody claimed that.
But the thing is,
I've heard
it has
that
too many
countless times.
military. It has too many military secrets. They have to keep it separate from the states, which would ask too many uncomfortable questions. So it needs to keep its independence.
Just
while
look
still
up
dominant
Operation Paperclip.
At the same time, though, Lemon, it is accountable to the federal government. That's where it gets its funding, right?
No,
It does
not
get
accountable.
taxpayer money
Yeah.
along with other
But
black,
not
funds.
accountable.
Yeah.
Not accountable.
It
They run their own
gets its
books.
funding from the fucking federal government, and I guarantee you, I fucking 100% guarantee you, the president is the last person who signs that fucking check.
Probably.
Yeah, wasn't it JFK that
The
sent
spending
them
bill.
up to the
Yeah.
fake moon?
Yeah, that's of
Yeah.
course.
No, it
because
was
the
Nixon.
federal government signed by the federal bill's signed by the
So
government.
they're
Okay.
accountable.
Yeah, what does that have to do with
It
anything?
goes to, it's
What does
when
it
they
have
set
to do
up
with
NASA,
anything where you get your
Remember what Chris
budget?
said. He said that somebody's claiming they're not part of the government. Nobody said that.
When they set up-
somebody could have easily typed in origins of NASA. Find it.
Remember, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency of the Treasury.
Well, no, they're complete. They're
No, this
No,
is a,
totally
okay. This
different.
is different.
They
Come
are a
from
private
Operation
entity.
Paperclip.
They're not
They are a
private.
private
Operation
entity.
Paperclip.
No, they're not. They directly report to the White House. Of all the independent
No, nobody
agencies,
said private. We said independent. Didn't
yeah,
say
of
private.
all the
I think it was
independent agencies,
1950.
Hold on,
NASA
guys,
is the
hold on.
most dependent.
Here's the kicker, right? Go ahead and go audit NASA. See if you can do it as the public. You can audit the government. Sure, you can. You can go all public records. You can go look at it. Go try to audit NASA. Go try to audit the IRS. Go try to audit the Federal Reserve. You can't do it. They're independent, right? There's that wall.
Go try to
You
audit
can't do
Area
that with the
51, you
government
dickhead.
either. You can't do that with the government either. Only on unclassified.
Well, there's public records, right? Yeah.
You
Of
can
course,
freedom
there's
of
Only
information. You
unclassified.
can freedom of information, anything from the government.
And you can
it
freedom of
should all
information
be
from NASA because they're part of the fucking government and they
Yeah,
have
NASA won't-
federal funding. They are a federal
NASA won't
fucking agency.
answer.
I don't care how you want to define it.
Yeah, NASA won't answer a Freedom of Information Act. They haven't answered since like 2008 or something like that.
They answered Jeranism's freedom of
You guys
information.
heard the
Act.
runaround they did with Jeranism?
Is that
All
where
the
people are
bullshit?
getting the flat non-rotating Earth documents?
No.
Yeah, there's
Hold
a
on, hold on.
website on, there's a thing on NASA's website about all the Freedom of Information Acts that they've honored, and they only honored like where like some sort of company picnic funding came from.
That's right.
If they do honor,
I have a
it, they can jump
168-page financial report right here from last year.
Yeah, no, guys,
NASA.
you're wrong, dude, because the different people have requested full footage and actually received it. What's his name?
Really?
Who does those breakdowns of shit? He does really good work of the ISS.
T-Brain?
No, he breaks them down. He has a series of videos. He hangs out in Jeranism's chat all the time. He's a mod over there.
Landucci?
No.
Kosher,
He's not on the
what
show.
was it exactly that you said that
Shit,
you
I'll
had?
find his name.
No.
You said someone they answered, like he did a Freedom of Information Act and the NASA
They do
responded?
answer. Sometimes you'll get the footage if they have it. Sometimes you won't. Like Jeranism tried to do it. They responded to him, but they made him jump through insane hoops.
They gave him
And
the
I don't think
runaround.
Jeranism, and I don't think Jeranism ever even got the footage from him.
They ended up telling him that they can't tell him what he wants because of public safety. You know what that really means? It means you idiots can't handle the truth. The public cannot handle it. That's why they did so.
Dilly Gill. That's who it was. If you haven't watched Dilly Gill's stuff, it's worth watching. Check it out.
Yeah, I gotta check it out because on their website they show they've not responded to any, or really mundane ones. Is the only thing they respond to.
I mean, all Jeranism wanted was a simple spacewalk. I think it was the one where they hit the golf ball he was trying to get. I can't remember, but yeah, they made him jump through insane hoops, and I don't think he ever ended up getting it.
No, and
So
Dilly
here's the
Gill
difference
tried to
between
get
it-
like the full footage of the one where he hit a golf ball. I think that was Dilly Gill that was trying to get that one.
Here's the difference between a government, which is public, right? You know, we can go online or to a resource and find out how much every senator makes, representative, the president, even local, state, federal, right? We can find out how much they make, what their duties are, all that shit. How much does the head of the Fed make? Right? You can't look that shit up. It's independent. There's a wall there.
Yeah, that's different. The Fed is a different beast. But
How much does the head of NASA make? Right?
I mean,
they might put
Wait a
some shit
second.
out. But
Wait a second. Are you saying Area 51 is not accountable to the federal government? Because that's the same argument.
All right, it says here the salary of the
Not
chairman of the
quite,
Federal
because Area
Reserve set by
51
U.S.
is not-
Congress.
Area 51
It tells you right here how much
isn't
you make.
like leading science, right?
Kosher,
It's
are
not
you reading the
leading
budget
science,
report
doing shit every fucking
or the
day for me,
CAFR,
right?
the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report? Which one are you
Totally
reading?
different, dude.
Hey, this
You guys are crazy, dude.
Area 51 is
Yeah,
not
like
the
this
same
document.
as NASA. And if you say it is, then it's
You're
secret,
fucking
right?
crazy. It's
Kosher,
government, man.
what are you reading from? The budget or from the CAFR? Which one?
I'm reading from from what?
The budget,
CAFR,
which
the
is the
Certified Annual
imaginary,
Financial Report.
which is the imaginary amount of money any company has.
Dude, this
which
is from
imaginary.
Robert.
And then we have the CAFR, the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, which is the real budget.
What are you talking about? This is from Routers. It's telling you how much the head of the chairman of the Federal Reserve makes. The chairman's salary is set by Congress. So I don't know what the hell fucking face one is saying, dude. But it's completely made up.
So Reuters is an American company.
Reuters is where all the news outlets get their news from. It's like one of the biggest news outlets there is.
No, actually, it's called the Associated Press.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Controls all that, but
All you have to do is find their Dunn's number, their Dun and Bradstreet's number, and that'll let us know that they're a publicly traded company.
Yeah, this debate with NASA started.
I think NASA was born in 1953. It was Operation Paperclip, where they brought Nazi scientists over to America, and you put paper clips on their files. That's why they got the term Operation Paperclip, right? I think they were pink. But NASA was born. It's a government agency, and by certain judges,
it's not a government.
Certain judges.
Independent.
It's the first CIA.
Wait a second,
it's
that
the
guy
first
just said it.
secret intelligence agency.
I think.
Yeah, but
I
he
think
don't
they make
count.
us
That
believe.
guy
They
don't
give us
count.
the impression that
Independent
it's a
means
government
not dependent
agency.
on something else, right? So independent, not dependent.
I don't care, dude, what you say, man.
Are you
the government is owned by corporations.
You retarded? You sound like a baller
Top
now.
corporations pay people to go into government to implement laws.
Who do you?
So government isn't even what you think it is.
Who do you?
It's an appearance.
Who do you pay?
100%.
You just go off CNN.
We
Who
can
do you pick?
we can
Right.
continue this in a
Hey,
minute. We're
parents.
gonna do final thoughts. We got quite a few people in here. Actually, we got 39 people. So let's just keep it short, please, or we'll take forever. But if you got something to say, feel free to say it. We'll start at the top. Ali B, if he's awake. Autodidactic. Biodual.
Just got here skipping.
All right, Brian Leakey. Brian's Logic.
Yeah, I good show, Brandon. I enjoyed it. Yeah, just all I was just say something very short about the calculate measure thing. You don't measure with a calculator, and you don't calculate with a ruler. Calculations are numbers, measurements are amounts. So that's it. Thanks. Talk to you during the week.
Thanks, Brian. C4. Chikey. Chrissy.
I've enjoyed this evening. I think we moved on a little bit to something else, and it was quite enjoyable and entertaining.
Thanks, Chrissy. Jeremy.
Yo, all Jem asked earlier was, could you be wrong? I didn't think there was anything wrong with that because I feel like, people could be wrong about a lot of things that we think about how the world works. Jem admitted he could have been wrong. Maybe I could be wrong. Who knows? Also, I social distanced that Larry Scott dude earlier in Jem's. I gave him 6 feet when I buried his casket. Have a good night.
All right. Crit.
Yeah, I'm really powerful to begin the show with Gem and stuff. I mean, when I know really that you could be wrong, but I've never been more sure of anything in my life when I say the Earth is flat. There's not one other thing I can think of that I'm more sure of than that. And the main key about NASA being government is because atheists like to pretend they're in control of science. There is not an atheist who can work at NASA. They must take the federal oath. And in that oath, it says, "So help me God." And no atheist can take that oath with clear conscience because they'd have to lie. They'd have to break the oath.
Thanks, Crit. Dances with fools. Oh, no microphone. Data.
Yeah, the government has been in our music, our entertainment, movies. It's in our schools. And what I mean by in our government, I'll give you an example. Jerry Garcia was a famous singer-songwriter that he was apparently chosen by the CIA to influence LSD and drug use. He had a band called the Grateful Dead. It's come out years later that this is the case. So we have agents in place in all avenues, and the heliocentric spinning ball model debate is no different. The same old thing. If you look at the debate was going on in the early 1800s to all the way up to early 1920, there was still conversation going on, and we're going over the same information, except for back then we didn't have technology to disprove the geometrical boundary perimeter of the apparent ball radius of 3,959 miles. Now we have the technology to refute that. It's just a matter of getting the ballers to understand that they have no geometrical ball and to know that, yes, psychological operations are true. Gloria Stefan, I believe, is one. Jerry Garcia was one. And I believe now Audrey Hepburn is also another one. So it all runs deep. It's all about the psychological influence that they have over the average citizen. So,
Thanks, Data. Don.
Nice show. All I'm looking for is the point of tangency where you observe drop. Kosho has not shown me that yet. I'm still waiting for it. Nice show. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Earth is flat. I mean, Earth is life. FE, self-evidently.
Yeah, hi guys. Just whenever we talk about satellites, often Professor Phil will jump in because obviously it's his area of expertise. I'd just say, just a bit of friendly advice. If we can just be a little bit gentle with Phil, because when Phil's here, it's like playing whack-a-mole. As soon as you yell at him or 4 people attack him at once, he will disappear back down the hole and disconnect from the call. Now, we can have some fun with Phil, I think, trying to question him about his silly satellites falling into clouds, but he will just take any chance to run away. So that's just, all I'd say is, let's just do our best to be careful and not talk over each other and yell at him so that he hangs around and we can grill him. That's all. Good show, mate.
Absolutely. Phase 1. Jim. Geo.
I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
I'm
you
here.
go.
I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Great show, Brandon. I thought it's very revealing that the mere suggestion that a new flat earther, quote, on their journey should question the idea. Oh, here we go again.
Hold on. Who is it?
It was B-ball. It was an accident.
All right. The idea that they should question the idea was met with a completely unreasonable personal attack from Adam, coupled with his very obvious attempt to censor me, followed by a further attack from Brian's logic based on his complete misunderstanding of what I said. And I think we should note that these two are members of a weird cult that is, all of them seem to be completely bonkers now. So that's all I have to say. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Hey, Brandon, did you call me? I kind of missed it.
Yeah, I said your screen name instead of B-ball, but go ahead.
All right, can I go?
Yep.
All right, so I got 3 things, right? The first one is if you're honest, you'll find the truth for yourself. No video or nothing we show you or anything else is gonna show you. You're gonna have to go out and find it for yourself. Number 2, I would love for any flat earther to tell me what is the distance that my auto level is rated, and after what distance is it inaccurate, and I need to know why. And number 3 is, why is it that I can model the sun, moon, and earth system with an exercise ball, a basketball, and a tennis ball, but I can't do that with a flat earth? That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Geo.
Yeah, great show, Brandon and everyone. Yeah, I'm glad that kind of missed it the last couple of days. It's cool, after the weekend. And, it's good to be here with everybody. And yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Gleam.
Salute, Brandon. Like and subscribe, everyone. Hurry up and share the show. Cheers.
Thank you, sir. I rock well. James.
If it only exists on the television, that should tell you something.
Agreed. Jace. Jimbo. Kiefer.
Yeah, I appreciate Brandon you hosting the show. Even though I'm new here, I'm probably a pain in the ass. Want to ask you a question. Are you familiar with Lapeer, Michigan?
Yeah, I'll do my final thoughts now, so I can answer. Yes, I am familiar with Lapeer, Michigan. Absolutely. Not...
I was just gonna say that's where I'm at. It's just kind of cool to know of someone in my area, you know. So, anyways, I appreciate the show. It's been fun.
That's cool. Yeah, hit me up in DMs, man. George.
Will do.
Brian wants to Netflix and chill with you.
Hey there, Brandon.
Fucked up.
Hey,
Jeremy.
Brandon.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm thinking of taking all the show money I've earned over the months and make you a very generous offer to purchase this server from you so that I can up its game and improve its content.
How much are we talking about, George?
Maybe around 10,000.
Oh, I can't sell out. I'm sorry. I'm a man of principle.
For 10,000.
I'll message you later.
Number.
We'll talk offline.
Oh shit.
No, I think it's
Yeah,
money talks.
I think it really,
just consult with your buddy.
Just start your
with
own.
Ranty.
I think it
10,000
really,
cracker jack.
I think it really needs to
Big Bow
become
will
a
take over.
show, Brandon.
Just start your own.
Okay. All right, George. Kosho.
That's how much that mute button is worth, mate. Trust.
I just want to say, I would say great show. Usually it is, but of course Crit is here, so I'm not sure.
Crybaby.
But I will say that
You're a big crybaby,
Crit,
dude.
final thoughts.
on the just to close up on that moon satellite thing, that you guys were completely, you guys had no idea where what was going on. It could be the size of a building, it could be anything. I don't know what's going on. It could be a clown in the sky. Well, I did the numbers. What I did was I measured something. I measured the size of these things. I did calculations to do that, to get the angular size, because that's what you have to do when you measure something. You have to actually calculate something. And what I ended up with is a range of values, depending on whatever distance it was, and the size it had to be at that distance. And the only realistic distance for this object would have to be 20 miles around that range, about 23 feet high. So somewhere between 20 miles, maybe a little more than that, and 23 feet, maybe a little bit more than that, which makes perfect sense for what the object is and what it looks like. So there you go.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
That's enlightening. Thank you. Left lane.
Yeah, Brandon, good show. I always like to try to be sensible in conversing. And when someone comes out and launches a personal attack, like we saw earlier in the show, the saving grace to the person being attacked is it exposes the one doing the attacking. And that's all I got. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you. Lino Tomo. Mailman. Matrix. Oh, there he is.
Good show. Oh, sorry. Yeah, good show. Came for the spiral and got it. Good.
All right. Thank you. Matrix.
Definitely an interesting show today, man. Brandon, thank you for having me. Shout out to everybody else in the chat, and I'm good.
Thank you. Mayushi. Mr. Nice Guy. Mobius.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Yep, go ahead.
No.
Okay. Mobius. He technically did give final
good
thoughts.
show.
He said no, but that he technically did.
Yeah, and he dropped. Anyway, yeah, good stuff, Brandon. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man. Fight this Lemon.
What was I going to say? Oh, yes. We calculate the height of these objects based off of optical geometry, but we need an actual measurement to see how much of the object is actually above some sort of unchanging standard like the surface of the Earth. We can calculate it based off of what we see, but part of the object may have converged, merged, and disappeared due to angular resolution, making your calculation effectively less useful than it would be if part of the object has vanished beyond angular resolution. So we need an actual measurement based off of something that's an actual unchanging standard to see how much of the object is still above the surface, flat plane or globe, and or how much of it has converged, merged, and disappeared over a flat plane.
Thanks, Lemon. RC Meisty.
Yeah, great show, Brandon. I really appreciate the space that you create here, even though I vehemently disagree with you. It's a lot of work that you do here, and it's great. If you take any 5 cities over 1,000 miles apart on the face of the Earth, it shows you that the Earth is a sphere, can't be flat.
Thank you, sir. Seek and find. Silent Zero.
Like always, good show. Just want to say that these people are not here to try to understand or learn. They're most likely trying to teach us something, I guess. And since we don't repeat what they believe to be true, they always answer with, we don't understand. But I think almost most of the things we do understand. It's just that we don't accept what they're saying. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And Bob Dole. No. All right. Thanks to the panel for joining the show. Really appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so we'll do the Flat Earthers only for the first hour or so, and then we'll open it back up to the panel. People seem to like that. There's been some good conversations, so we'll keep that up once a week, and then we'll go back to our normal regular programming. So I appreciate everybody joining the show. Always nice to hang out with you guys, and I'll be back. I will record, so just so you're aware that you're being recorded. Thanks. Okay, well, it was good to be back. It's nice to have a 3-day break, to be honest with you, even if I was feeling like shit. But it was a fun show. Appreciate the audience. And yeah, asking that plane video, it does look like it drags some of the moon with it. It almost kind of looked like it went through the freaking moon. I don't know. I got to watch it like a few more times and see what the hell's going on in there. I'm sure somebody could claim digital artifact or whatever, but that is a weird video. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Flat Earth only, first part of the show, and then normal stuff, like I just said. But thanks to the mods in chat. Thanks to Mr. Gadget, Dan the Waterman, and Earth is Life, B-Ball, for supporting the show with super chats. And thanks for everybody for joining and listening. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.